All right. We are live. What's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? JD Kent, as usual. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. Dual streaming for me. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Well, it's been a funky week, man. What a funky week. All right. Just make sure everything's all lined up here. Twitch always says I'm unstable. I'm not unstable. I'm very much good to go. I don't understand why I'm unstable.
I don't think it's referring to your connection.
I know. That's what I'm not unstable. I'm perfectly level-headed. I'm good to go. All right. I think we're good here. Okay. I think we are. Well, I got everything popped up except my notes. Might need those. Might need those. Might be important. Okay. All right. You guys already said you're ready. Did you guys see the new story? That Bungie's marathon is getting its longest playtest yet. 30 days, and you get a $500 thank you reward. Thought that was pretty cool.
Really?
You know what? I'll pull it up.
That's interesting.
Pull the article up. It's from the Game Post. I might bring it up tonight. We'll see. All right, quick drink of tea. We should be good to go. Let me pull up the chat.
That tequila hit good.
Pull up the chat. Might bring it up tonight. We'll see. All right, quick drink of tea. We should be good to go. And we don't need to hear that.
Oh, we got an echo.
No, that's from my phone. Okay. Just trying to see if I could share. Okay. Oh, what a cool image. Guys sent me, we took a pic. We were playing poker. Took a group pic. When we don't see each other very often anymore, we're old farts that are all stretches of the United States. So I don't get to see them as often. It's always nice to see those guys. Okay, Discord. There we go. And we should be ready to rock here. Sorry guys, I'm running a little late tonight. It's been a week, that's for sure. Okay, let's get ready to podcast. All right. Should be good to go. Good there. Let me double check something real quick here. Output. Perfect. I always have to make sure I have the file going to the right place when I record the videos. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 319 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. For those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly Destiny and gaming show and have been producing audio episodes for over 5 years now, actually 6. Things have changed a little over the years, and we've grown, and as we have grown, we've changed our format a bit. We now have live podcast, which some of you tonight are listening to as we speak. Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch, on YouTube. It's Todd the Gator, TODD, and I also have replays of our live shows if you're across the pond and can't listen to it right now because you're sleeping in bed. This week, it is our monthly Roundtable episode. For those of you who may be new to the podcast, once a month, we produce a Roundtable episode whereby members of our community bring a topic, story, article, or hell, just a point of view to the table. The topics can be anything relating to the gaming industry, entertainment, social media, basically anything that pertains to our love of our hobby and life. Each of us will introduce our topic, give our opinions and takes on it, and then we'll go around the table and everyone else will chime in and add to the topic of discussion. I always love roundtable episodes because we can really get down into the rabbit hole in some of these topics that we bring. In this month's roundtable episode, I have my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsley Mack, who has brought his own topic tonight. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, I'm doing great. Honestly, so excited to be here for Roundtable episode. Like you mentioned, it's like a good variety. We're doing something
Yeah.
different, and I know some of the topics tonight, and I'm so excited to hear them.
After all the drama last week, I'm exhausted. But yeah, it's good that we're not talking solely about Destiny tonight. It's really nice. It's a nice little break. So thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here tonight. We have a returning guest roundtabler of the show tonight. He's been a longtime member and a Patreon supporter of our community. He's an avid Destiny gamer who shares my love of Destiny, but also works in the same industry as I do, and also shares my first name. We interviewed him back on episode 260 when we were celebrating our 5th year of the podcast on July 15th of 2024. So please welcome from the great state of North Carolina, it's Zombie Pops. What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Awesome. Our final guest has also been a past roundtabler and guest of the show. He's a major supporter of our community as our sole, it's all by himself, Dungeon Champion patron member. We interviewed him back on episode 261, which ironically was the very next episode on July 22nd of last year. So check out that episode if you want to know more about him. Of course, the speed runs that they both ran as well. From the great state of California, it's Deadpool 1 Merc. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Thank you for having me. Hope everybody's doing good as well.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you being on tonight. Well, before we get into the topics tonight, I want to catch up, and I'm curious what everyone's been doing this week in gaming and life. Deadpool, since you were the last to talk, let's start with you, man. What have you been doing in life? What have you been doing since we had you on last year? Or it's been a little less than that because you've been on a roundtable episode, but what have you been doing in your life, man? Or any movies or any gaming you want to share? What you've been up to?
Well, let's start off with work. I got promoted at both my jobs.
Hell yeah.
At Geek Squad, I'm an advanced repair rep now.
Awesome.
And then at my main job, I am the facilities supervisor. So I'm in charge of all facilities at the school.
Making bank.
So that was a major, that
Love
was
it.
a major thing for, it just recently happened July 1st. And the other one was like in June. So they were both like recent. Other than that, I've been playing Destiny almost every day as much as I can. Because, working at a school is tiring after being there for 9 to 10 hours a day. So it is draining. My kids live with me. My 2 younger kids live with me now. So right now they're both sleeping because they were exhausted.
It's the beginning of school year, right? Getting adapted.
Yeah. So my 3-year-old, he's in pre-K, and my 2-year-old, she hasn't started school yet. So
Oof.
but pretty soon.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I actually got a lot of my clan members to come back to the game. So I've been
Awesome.
playing with them, trying to get them all into it more. I'm in the grind for the 400. I'm not worried about 450 right now. I'm worried about 400. So right now my character is currently 365
Not
and
bad.
my warlock is 366.
Not bad.
So I've
Not
been
bad at
doing a
all.
little bit of grinding.
It takes a while. That's for sure.
It does. And I see Caldera is the solo for tonight, so I'm probably gonna be doing that after we get off.
Yep.
Do a little bit of runs of that. Other than that, I haven't really been going to the movies like I used to. Since the kids moved in, so it's been a little bit difficult. Because they're here.
Yeah.
But I have been watching movies as soon as they come out. I watched Thunderbolts last night, which was actually pretty interesting. I've been watching some of the shows that you recommended. So I watched The Pit. The Pit was actually really good. I started watching Doc. That's interesting. And
It's a great show.
I caught up on 911 Lone Star. I'm sad that 911 Lone Star is done. And then The Rookie. I'm waiting for the new season of The Rookie to come out.
Gotcha.
And yeah,
Nice,
that's about
man.
it. Oh, and Happy Gilmore 2. That was really good. I enjoyed
Did you like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Heard good things about that. I hadn't seen it yet. I don't know why. Everyone says, well, it's just like Happy Gilmore 1. And I'm like, yeah, I remember Happy Gilmore 1. That was good. But there's so much to watch right now, man. It's so much pulling at your time these days. Not just in video games, but everything, it seems. Mr. Zombie Pops, what you been up to, brother? What you been up to since you've been with us last?
Not much. Been grinding on Destiny, of course. Built a new PC, so I'm kind of exploring that still with the games on it. Like Helldivers 2. Of course, that comes to Xbox as soon as I get a PC up and running. But whatever. Oh, let's see what else. Not much. Working. You know how it is.
Oh, I know. Believe me, it's peak season right now. Enough for it is for you, I'm sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Started watching a news show yesterday. What's it called? Terminal List. Dark Wolf on Amazon Prime.
I've seen that one.
Kind
Yeah.
of a spin-off of Terminal List with Chris Pratt in it.
Oh yeah.
A couple
Okay.
years ago.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think they got 3 episodes out right now. So,
Very cool, man.
watched that movie Nobody on your suggestion.
It's
That was a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just day in day out.
You are you playing Destiny?
Oh yeah.
What's your figuratively your power number you're working on now?
I think I'm like 320.
Okay.
I'm not grinding as heavy as other people.
I got you.
I guess. But doing weekly raids. We did a raid last night. We did.
Yeah, I saw you guys on.
What was it? Val. Yeah, Kingsley stopped in, as well. Towards the end of it, we spent about 4 hours on it. Did
Very
what we
cool.
could. I think we got another one coming up tomorrow night
Okay.
and possibly Saturday. And I mean, obviously, raiding with you and Kingsley and
Oh yeah,
that group.
I'm loving that raid, man.
So,
Yeah, I'm loving that raid. It's been a lot of fun so far. Mr. Kingsley Mack, how you been, man? What you up to?
Yeah, great. That's the main thing I was going to bring up and loving raiding with Zombie and with Utah and the whole crew, of course. It's the main thing that's keeping me interested in Destiny right now, and
Yeah.
had some good times. I mean, we did a little bit more in our chill, not trying to stress about learning the new raid and getting a little bit further. And I just freaking love the Hydra encounter because I knew that when I first went into it. I went in before our crew with another crew. I'm like, I like this encounter, even though it was like really hard for us at the time. And I just knew how it was all put together and just the mechanics of it. And man, it goes together like a well orchestrated machine once you kind of know what you're doing.
It does.
And it's a tight arena. It doesn't seem messy. It's a good rating counter. But anyways, we've been having so much fun. I've been loving running out with you guys, and shout out to the other people in our crew. And we need to try to keep that together because it's going to be, this always happens, but some people start not being available, and I'm a little worried it might start, falling off, but we'll see what we can do to keep it together. But yeah, I run with other people, other raids here and there, and having fun with that. And then other gaming, I'll just mention kind of when I do my mini topic later on.
Right. I got you, man.
That's basically me.
Yeah, well, I got the Finite Maybe. It's the fusion rifle from the Desert Perpetual raid. It looks badass. I haven't used it yet, but an aggressive frame. Is that like I think that's the one that shoots like a horizontal row of pellets, I think. Anyway, I got to test it out and see how it does. I got that this last Saturday. We made another go at trying to finish up the encounters. I think we got stuck on the third one, right? We got the first 2 done eventually after I remembered everything.
Third for us. Yeah,
third for
no
us.
Particular order.
Yeah, well, yeah, the third for us.
Hobgoblin.
Yeah, and that one is there's a lot involved in that one we tried to do with the rings, the charge rings. We have to charge all the rings and stuff. I don't know what they call that encounter. Oh, that's probably the Hobgoblin, right? Yeah, it's the Hobgoblin one.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I'm having a great time learning it, and there's no FOMO really right now. I can just take my time, just have fun, enjoy the company you're with, and I'm just super chill right now playing Destiny, other than with the grind. And yes, I did reach that magic 400 number last weekend. Let's see, what have I been doing?
Did you give yourself a gold star?
Well, I like to say I got a gold star. Still not getting tier 5s. It's mainly tier 4s and tier 3s, but I tell you what, guys, everybody's so stuck on tier 5 stuff. it really, even your tier 5 armor is just like 5 more points bigger than a nice, well-rolled tier 4. You can have really good builds with I have a really good grenade build right now, using just tier 4 armor. And I even put my tier 5 class item away and used a tier 4 one, and it's doing really good. I mean, I have a tier 5 gauntlets that I think reach about 103, and I have tier 4s that are reaching 99. So what are we talking about? Four energy spots here. I mean, it's not really that much. And of course, yes, I know there's a little extra. You can tweak the stats a little bit extra on tier 5 stuff, but I don't know if I'm not going to kill myself to get this stuff. I'm really perfectly happy getting the tier 4 stuff. Entertainment wise, my wife and I saw 2 new movies at the theater using my AMC Stubs A-List membership, which allows me to see 4 movies a week now. Not that I'd ever get to 4, but I've watched 3 before. The first movie I saw was at Disney Springs last Friday. We were meeting a fellow GDC community member, Mr. P. King, who was on vacation from across the pond in the UK, and met his family, his son, his wife, and we had him just for deluxe burger over there. And man, really great people. I love meeting people now. I used to be I'm an introvert. I'm not really one to. I get kind of nervous when I meet people that are in person, and I'm getting more and more accustomed to it now. But had a great time. And so we went and saw Nobody 2, which was the sequel to Nobody, Todd, that you just mentioned you watched. It's a great action flick. You know, Bob Odenkirk, he was a retired secret agent living a restful life when a burglary goes wrong in the first movie, and that sets him on the path where he just destroys everything. The first movie was fantastic, and it was Odenkirk's, I believe, his first movie playing a leading action role, but Nobody 2, I can't really say any high praises for this one. The movie starts off with a eager Odenkirk visiting a small town amusement park from his youth, only to find out that there's a crime boss, yada, yada, yada. He runs the place. You know the story. It's the usual baddie story, and he disses his daughter or something, and, it sets him off. And of course he ends up, you guys know how that story ends. There's a million action stories like that. It's trite. And it's an overused trope for shallow action movies. The writing was subpar. The acting was okay, but I'm imagining Odenkirk is acting these parts out and probably thinking to himself, this was not the same movie I did 4 years ago. But he's an actor. He promote the hell out of anyway, but not his finest film for sure. I give this one 2 stars. Just a bad movie. When some parts of the movie tried to be more serious, my wife and I actually looked at each other and audibly laughed in the theater. Don't waste your time or money on this one. Rotten Tomatoes actually has this at 78% certified fresh, and the audience backed it up with 89%, but they must have seen a totally different movie than I did. So let that go to show you that I don't always agree with the critics and the movie reviewers out there. If you decide to watch it, just don't have your expectations very high and you'll be golden. The second film I watched with my wife as well is an independent film created by Ron Howard called Eden. This movie was actually based on true events that occurred right after the Great Depression. Not that I was there, but if you remember the Great Depression, then there was, in history, there was fascism starting everywhere with Hitler, then Mussolini. So a doctor who had lost all faith in humanity fled his country and lived among the wilds on the Galapagos Islands, where it was literally man versus nature. He wrote a manifesto, how the human race could correct its wrongs. And as word spread from his writings, others began to flee to the islands as well. And let's just say the raw human nature set in. Think Lord of the Flies kind of stuff. It was an interesting way to witness how humans have learned to live together from the very basic means or not. It was a stripped down independent film, but had very heavy hitters in it. Jude Law plays the doctor. Sydney Sweeney, Ana de Armas, Vanessa Kirby all played integral roles in the movie as well. And there were interesting parts of the movie that made you think. Rotten Tomatoes was not kind to this one. The critics only gave it 57%, but the audience was kind of mid-May on it. They gave it a 74%, but I agree with the audience on this one. While it's not in my top 10 movies, I truly enjoyed it. I gave this one 3.5 stars. A solid, good flick. If you do watch it, stay during the after credits. They actually show the actual film footage of the doctor and his neighbors on the island back then. So I did start seeing Slow Horses on Apple TV. I actually binged two whole seasons of this show, and I got to tell you, Gary Oldman is a fantastic actor. I've always loved everything he does. He plays this old and grumpy station chief of MI6. He oversees all this array of agents that have checkered past, whether they made bad mistakes when they're on assignment or whatever. And Oldman is actually mistaken as a homeless man because he doesn't take care of himself. His hygiene and everything is very questionable. It's a mix of comedy and suspense in a dog-eat-dog spy world where nobody trusts each other. A lot of good plot points actually start to open up as you dive more into the seasons. I'm on season 3 now, and then season 4 actually is coming out in September. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. And then lastly, Alien Earth. It's a gripping sci-fi series for all you alien movie fans out there. Every week it seems to get better and scarier. So check it out. It's on Hulu or FX as new episodes drop every Tuesday night. That's it for me pretty much. If you guys are ready, we'll get on to our first topic of the week tonight, right after this break. What's going on, El Tigre Eterno? How you doing? Caglord, I saw
one
you
of my
there.
clan members.
Okay, what's up, man?
That's one of my clan members.
I saw-
I want to shout out, hey,
Yeah,
Tigray and Pip. Thanks for showing up on the live. Thanks.
nice. Caglord's out there too. I see you there. How you doing, man? Good to see you guys. All right. Are you guys ready? I think it's going to go to you first. I believe it is to you, Zombie, first. No. We're going to Mike first. Sorry, my bad. Mike's going to talk about some games.
Oh, me first? It might
Yep.
actually be worse to go to me first because my wife's going to bring in something in a second.
Okay, we'll go to all right, we'll go to you first, Zombie. You ready, Zombie?
All right.
All right. You don't start yet. I'm not recording yet. Just getting you set up. Nice. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2. All right, Zombie Pops, you're up first, man. What do you got for us on the table tonight, man?
All right. So there's been a big to-do, specifically with Steam delisting games because I guess Collective Shout kind of put some pressure on credit card companies to remove some games from Steam. Is that really overreach, or is it censoring? Kind of what's going on there with that. Not that I agree with the kinds of games that they were pulling or whatever, but should banks really have the power to pull games / art? And if they start doing that, where does it end?
I got you. Yeah, I think Kingsley actually brought this topic up to when we were on the DPS, the Dudes Playing Stuff podcast. I think you brought it up, Kingsley, right? This topic when we were talking about the...
Did. I was excited
Oh,
Yeah,
to hear this.
I did not catch that. Sorry.
it's okay, man. No, it's all
don't
good.
be sorry. Like, I'm always excited to talk about this.
Yeah, if you want to interject, go ahead, Kingsley. Are you done with your premise, Todd? Sorry, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, do you have something else you want to add? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, just is it what's keeping credit card companies from, say, blackballing smaller indie companies? If they got bankrolled by bigger companies, say I don't know, like EA or something, and then you don't get the little classics like that Clear Expedition 33.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
You want to dive in, Kingsley, on this part of it? You were
I
kind of
was trying to
championing this
see if
topic.
there was any latest news because it's gone through a lot of back and forth from what I could tell. There was times where supposedly some things had come back, and then I was just seeing like what the latest was. I don't know if you know much about it either, Zombie, what the latest was.
Last I heard is there's laws in the process of being passed. I don't know, to prevent this kind of thing. So I
Sure,
haven't
yeah.
heard anything else after kind of that. They are
Yeah,
addressing it though, I guess. So
it was mostly happening on Steam and then itch.io. And
Yep.
then basically, from what I understand, it's at least what it's seemed to come down to was um, not so much technically Visa or MasterCard blocking it, but their payment processors that are in between. So like the banks, that of course, the companies like Steam and stuff like that, when people need to pay for stuff, they'll use Visa or MasterCard, but it always goes, that's just like a payment processor. But then a bank is the actual like company that is the middleman to do like the money and stuff. And I think I saw like PayPal was one of the big ones that was kind of blocking a lot of stuff. A lot of the other payment processors and stuff. Because supposedly, and I never want to say like, oh yeah, like I'm in favor of the big Visa or MasterCard company, but supposedly I kind of believe that they wouldn't be so keen to them directly rejecting it, because they have generally allowed all sorts of crazy purchasing as long as it's not totally illegal in the past. NSFW stuff, like you've been able to purchase that stuff forever with Visa, MasterCard. So I kind of feel like it probably is like these middleman payment processors like PayPal's and the banks in between Visa and MasterCard that go to Steam and itch.io. But yeah, anyways, I was just trying to see if there was any latest news. I heard that some things were coming back, that Steam and or itch.io had worked out some things where some games had come back. But yeah, this is very, very concerning to me. I actually agree that you shouldn't have the censorship on that stuff. And I do actually personally enjoy some of the things that they were going after, but also the bigger point is you shouldn't be having that type of stuff as long as it's not breaking any actual laws that are currently in the books. It's going to really start a potential slippery slope. And just with how the world is right now too, we don't need something else where things start getting blocked and then people can make easy excuses to block other things and then block other things and block other things. And how us as gamers, we've always kind of agreed that video games don't, I think we all agree. Now, if you don't agree, that's fine. But we generally all agree that video games don't directly lead to violence and gun violence and stuff like that, right?
They've been saying that since the 80s, man.
Well, it's the same thing with NSFW stuff too. It doesn't directly lead to acting crazy that way. Right. So if someone's going to have an inclination to do something crazy, it's not because of the video games that they're playing. So now, of course, you got to find the weird one-off things. You got to find like the legitimate things that have, obviously like going after like children or have underage things or like crazy like like hurting people type situations. But this wasn't that. This was just delisting a bunch of games. And there was a thing that I also added on when I talked about it, how GOG, the gaming platform, actually was having a thing where they were offering a lot of those games for free as kind of like a pushback thing. And I actually signed up for it and downloaded a bunch of those because it was kind of like a statement piece. It was like, yeah, in support of not having censorship, people can, and they only did it for like 48 hours. Like everyone can like download these like 13 games for free. And it was kind of showing how like, let's not have censorship on games because yeah, today they might censor NSFW games, but tomorrow they might censor violent games or whatever. So it is a concerning thing. And I hope that it doesn't go down that road.
You have anything you want to add, Deadpool?
Yeah, I think it's crazy how they're trying to do stuff like that. Like I was reading in an article that in Australia they actually banned GTA 5 from Targets and Walmarts out there, and that's freaking crazy because like a lot of people like games like that, and I know like it does portray real life stuff and real things that happen in real life. But at the same time, like, why not just focus on things like, if you guys remember, there was a huge thing with Wayfair. Like, if you order certain things from Wayfair, you're contributing to certain things that were illegal, like truly illegal, and they weren't doing anything. That the process, those payment processes were still going through. So why focus on something that's minuscule like video games
Mm.
and not focus more on things like that? Because that Wayfair, or there was another company that was involved with it, and it was actually leading to trafficking. Like, it just boggles my mind that they want to take away from video games and take away from things that we enjoy. And at the end of the day, like, I think these companies would be losing money because we're using credit cards, we're using our debit cards to purchase this stuff, and we're the consumers paying into all this stuff. So I feel like it's crazy that they would try to eliminate things like that. Like, I'm looking forward to the new GTA when it comes out. It was supposed to come out this year, but I'm okay with it being extended until next year. But if they were to take that away from me, then I'll be like, what the heck?
Yeah, the way I see this, and I kind of mentioned this when Kingsley brought it up on DPS. I don't understand why they would object to things on Steam, because Steam is a platform that has, let's just say it's not regulated, but it's checked by the community that plays the games. And if a game is illegal or human trafficking thing, if I was a credit card processor, I wouldn't want to be involved in any of that stuff that's illegal. But Steam has a system where the community can report it or comment and give feedback to someone who's potentially thinking about buying this stuff. They have a system in place that I think works very well. I don't understand why they did that to begin with. Video games are going to get more realistic as we go on. And when you get into realistic games, you're going to get into parts that aren't going to be good for little Tommy, and it's up to the parent to make sure that little Tommy doesn't see these games or doesn't have access to these games. And that just means you got to keep an eye on your kids, man. My God, you hear about all the grooming and stuff going on Twitch and a lot of these platforms out there, by, what was it? The Roblox story where there were all these pedophiles were on Roblox, and there was like a major drama over that because, Roblox really, there wasn't much they can do other than just ban them from the game. But you know how that works, man. You just start a new account. But it all comes, I can mention this on DPS, it all comes down to the parent. It's up to you're as the parent of your child, it's up to you to make sure that your kids have access to areas that they want to access or that is okay for them to access. But you also have to have some way of regulating where they go, where you might not want them to go and see stuff. I mean, my God, the internet we didn't have it when I was a kid, so I can't relate totally there. But yeah, there has to be some line drawn where if it's a game, even if the credit card companies or the handlers don't agree with how the game is portrayed, it's not for them to decide. But they do have terms of service, and they ultimately have the decision where they can pull support for it. So I just think they just need to adapt with the times, and then of course parents got to keep an eye on their kids.
Also, that obviously it makes sense for the people that own the stores like Steam or whatever. If they want to have their own rules, like, oh, we only want to support certain type of games, that's their right. But they want to support these other types of games, that's also their right, supposedly, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then it was just the payment processors that was, blocking it.
Yeah. The doctor in Discord chat said something really interesting here. Steam also already has age restrictions in place, and there was some guy that was actually catching them. I remember this now. He actually was playing. It was like Catch a Predator kind of stuff, and in fact, the Catch a Predator guy was actually interviewing him. It was making a show, a TV show with him involved. But instead, Roblox banned him instead of the Predator. So I mean, yeah, it can get really bad. You were going to say something, Deadpool?
Yeah, I was gonna say that Roblox guy. I was actually seeing a few of his. They banned him on TikTok, so he had to recreate another TikTok, because he was catching a lot of those predators on there. But it does it does the parents are responsible. I know, me working at a school, I see a lot of these kids when they're playing on the phones. There there's no age restriction on any of their phones.
Yeah.
I know my 3-year-old, his phone or his iPad, he can't do nothing on it. He can't look up anything. He can't do. I have it set to where he can only play the certain app.
Yeah.
And then they have a locking feature, so it stays locked on that app. So it's on the parents. Like, I know my oldest, my 17-year-old, I let him, I let him get into Destiny. I let him get into GTA when he was around 8 or 9, and that's me just, letting him play with, because at the time I was with my ex-wife. There, I let him play with, friends and stuff like that. But I was there monitoring, making sure that they weren't doing anything crazy and stuff like that. And I would only limit him his time for those things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember when he wanted to get Roblox, and I told him, like, no, you're not getting Roblox. And even my 10-year-old, I restrict him from Roblox. I'm like, no, I'm not letting you get on any of that stuff. But like you said, it is on the parent. And a lot of these parents, they don't care no more.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids are actually just playing whatever. And I see it all the time. Like, they have freedom to Google stuff. They have freedom to look up anything. Like, I was watching this was last school year for me, when I was a security guard at the school. I walked into a classroom, and these girls were watching this YouTube video of this rabbit, and it was a cartoon rabbit, and the cartoon rabbit was going around cutting other rabbits' heads off. And I was like, what the heck are you guys watching?
Jeez.
And it's just crazy how, like, there's no, like, the censorship's not really there. I know there's age restrictions on Nintendo, there's age restrictions on Steam, but it ties in. There's a lot of things that tie into all this stuff too. So
I mean, kids are smart these days. I mean, most of the kids have grown up around internet, so they know how to manipulate it. If they don't know, their friends will tell them, or they'll watch a video showing them how to, get around certain restrictions. But I think there's even third-party apps now that are pretty smart about what your kids see, where you can have more control on regulating what they watch and stuff. But I mean, I have a over 1-year-old grandson right now, and I realize that's very young, but his parents don't want him to look at screens right now. They want him to, take in the world around him, and he's learning so much so fast. And I have to honor that. Even though I was raised by TV, I'm Gen X, man. My parents said, go out and play and don't come back until dark. And if you're hungry, figure it out. We were latchkey kids, man. I mean, our parents would tell us to go play in traffic. I swear to God, I'm not kidding you. I know that sounds terrible in today's standards, but I was raised from TV shows. I Dream of Jeannie. I mean, there were so many shows that I watched as a kid. And I don't know if it affected me in a bad way, but internet is so much worse. So I don't know, man. There's no easy answer here, because the internet is not an easy place to cordon off for your kids,
Yeah. And it's interesting because both here and on DPS, we started talking about the kid angle, and we all agreed that the kids should be protected. But back to the original topic, what about the adults? We shouldn't have the censorship for the adults that don't want it or need it, and if we keep I'm not saying that the kid thing isn't important, but I think in society, it's always going to keep going down to that angle as like an excuse to like have censorship to adults too. And I'm just a little bit worried about that, but
yeah.
We'll see what happens. What about the adults, man?
I agree. I think you mentioned on DPS too, because we immediately went to kids, like you said, because we're all parents. That's what we usually think about first. The doctor made another good point in Discord. He goes, there are many who turn creating games on Roblox into a career just for predators to give everyone who uses the platform a bad name. I hope Roblox can pull their head out of their butt very soon. Yeah, I agree, man. I didn't play Roblox. I don't think my kids did either. I'm not sure. They played a lot of World of Warcraft and more fantasy games. My daughter was into the Sims games, so they didn't do a ton of stuff online. And believe me, we always kept a sharp eye out. But you can't watch all the time, right? You can't follow them everywhere. I mean, they go to school with their phones these days, and thank God the internet, the Wi-Fi is not very strong at my wife's school, because kids would be using it all day long. So, any final thoughts on this topic before we move on?
I'm good.
Todd, you
I'm
good?
good.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on to our next topic right after this. Yeah, good topic, man. That's always a great, when Kingsley brought that
I
topic.
wanted to keep it. I didn't want to say anything because then you would maybe not want to talk about it or something. But like, I loved the topic. So
Yeah. It's an important topic too.
It had just been showing up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
might as well. Because it's kind of a hot.
We'll do Kingsley, you want to go next? You want Deadpool to go next?
sure, if you want me to, I'm more than happy to now.
You good now? Okay. We'll go with you, and then we're going to take a break and look over the TWID, which has some very happy news. And I'm going to skim over it, and then we'll get to our third and fourth topic and call it a night.
Sure you will. You'll read line by line.
No, I won't be line by line. Some of it I might read out because some of it is just important and enough to where I have to read it out. And I don't want to mess up the phrasing on
Warlock stuff. If there's
they
Warlock
have a
stuff,
section that says new and new. You can just skip to those parts.
Yeah, they talk about in the TWAB about the class. Did you guys want to go over that? The class fantasy in Destiny? They talked about what each character kind of around what is their. We probably know this, but yeah, okay. It has some good aspects and stuff that we need to explain that are coming to Ash and Iron, so we might need to mention that.
You're tempted by it. I gotcha.
I'm tempted, but I'm going to breeze through the first part of it. So, all right, Kingsley, y'all set? Here we go. 3, 2. All right, Kingsley, you're up, man. What do you want to bring to the table tonight, man?
All right, man. Yeah, I just had a short topic about things and games I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. And, a lot of times we have like catch up where I talk about other games I'm playing and stuff. And I figure like, well, you know what? I'll save some of this news and some of the things I'm looking forward to for an actual topic on a roundtable episode. Okay. And there actually will be a little bit of Destiny 2 in here too. I kind of have like a little timeline I'm going over of things that are coming up.
Excellent.
And let me tell you, September is the month. But I'll get into that here in a second.
All right, man.
But I am concerned because even though September is the month, I'm really concerned that if you look at the chart of Destiny 2, it's been going down steadily. Doesn't matter the news. It wasn't anything to do with the bad news or the good news or whatever. If you look at the chart over the last since, Edge of Fate came out, it's very steadily been going down. And I'm really worried about September because of, yes, even though we have Ash and Iron, there's a lot of other cool games coming out that may not appeal to everyone, but there's not much going on in Ash and Iron as far as new content. So we'll see. We'll see how Destiny does from September through till December. And then December, of course, will be some fun stuff coming out.
That's a long time. I mean, this first season was really quick. And on my other accounts, I can't even get my reward pass done. And by accident, I paid 1,000 silver to go ahead and buy and open up the paid version. I'm like, shit, now I got to get this done before Ash and Iron drops, because when Ash and Iron drops, it's gone. So, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So, some cool things to look forward to. First of all, and these are just my personal favorites, but of course, some of these everyone else will agree with, and they're looking forward to them also. But first on the list, September 4th, I really enjoyed the Indiana Jones game that was out, and it was on Xbox Game Pass, and they are having a big expansion finally. I don't know why it came out so much later. And the expansion is called Order of the Giants, and it's about, you're going to be going through the catacombs of Rome. I love games where you're in tunnels and underground and stuff like that. And this Indiana Jones game that I'd played some, was it late last year? Gosh, I forget when it came out now.
It was during
really
the
excited
drought.
to get back into that.
Yeah, it's during the Destiny drought, I think.
Yeah. Well, that can mean a lot of times, actually.
That could be, actually. Yeah, you're right.
But I think it was late last year, early this year when it came out. I'm trying to remember, but it doesn't matter. Okay, September 9th, there's 3 things going on that day.
Oh my God.
Of course, we know Destiny, Ash and Iron. I'm definitely looking forward to the Plaguelands and checking out the new activity that's coming out. That'll be, I always love new content in Destiny. I will never not love new content, but we'll see how long that keeps me interested. It's just one new thing. Now, also on September 9th, funny enough, The Division has the new season. Now,
Really?
people have known I've been talking about The Division a lot lately. Just really been getting more and more into that game. And some people in the Discord, too. I won't mention any names in case they don't want their names mentioned, but they've been starting up playing The Division also and really enjoying it. There's so many things about this game that it does right. Gear grinding, like, because it's not about power level grinding, it's just about gear grinding, and there's more levels, tiers of gear than Destiny even has, and really fun like mods and things that you can do. It's like a true looter shooter.
Right.
You can tell like the engine is a lot more up to date and newer than Destiny. They have 52 unique bosses from every previous season that they don't get rid of in the game that you can replay and just do all these things. There's raids, there's strikes, there's incursions, there's true roguelike activities. Anyways, the new season starts on September 9th also, and we'll have a thing called Retaliations, which is public event, a new type of thing that they're doing that'll be fun.
What are you going to do on the 9th, man? What are you going to play? Everything?
Everything.
Okay.
I go back and forth. It's not like I have to play one game for like 3 days straight and then play another game. I'll play like probably what I'll do is I'll hop in Destiny first when it comes out at reset,
right.
and I'll play it for a few hours, and then I'll hop in Division like mid-afternoon
Makes
or evening,
sense.
and then play that. Because remember, I'm in an earlier time zone, and then
That's right.
I like to go back and forth.
Okay. All right.
And then I mean, kind of like right now, like I raid and then I play Division 2 a lot also, just kind of back and forth.
Yeah. It's
And
a
then
good
extra
balance.
credit, this is kind of cheesy. It's not technically a video game, but the iPhone 17 launch is on September 9th
Oh my
also.
God.
So me being a tech guy, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to be coming out this year. They're supposedly making an iPhone Air, a whole new model,
Really?
which I haven't done a new model for a while, and some things. So that'll be interesting to see, being a tech guy.
Do you know, just an aside here, do you know, I have a 16. Do you know what they're going to be changing in the 17? Please tell me the Apple Intelligence is getting better.
There's a lot of things that are changing, but in a way, I don't care to keep up on all of them ahead of time, because there's so many rumors that are 80% true and 20% not true that in a way, I just like to kind of hear about it on the day of.
I got you.
Now the iPhone event is hardware. It's not about the AI stuff that you were talking about. It's about the actual phones that are coming out.
Right.
What they look like, what the hardware can do and stuff. The software side is similar, but that's well, it's a more complicated answer, but I can talk to you about that offline.
I got you.
Okay, and then shortly after that, remember I told you September. So I mean, we're barely September 4th, September 9th. Man.
That's crazy.
September 12th, Borderlands 4. I'm so excited for this game. I've loved every Borderlands game. I've loved the spin-off games like Tiny Tina's Adventures. Just everything about it. And I don't see any reason why I would not like Borderlands 4, because I loved Borderlands 3 even. So there's just usually so much content, so much humor in the game, so many side missions, everything. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I mean, there. I'm
with all
these
in September, it's going to last me a while, like just going back and forth and just taking forever. Wow. September 16th, Assassin's Creed Shadows has their DLC called Claws, and it's going to open up a whole new zone. And I love Assassin's Creed games, and Shadows was a pretty cool game. And so the 16th, yet another game for me.
Oh, goodness.
Now, this next one, not technically in September, but you could kind of say it is, because it's October 2nd. So it's kind of like right there, tailing on. October 2nd, Ghost of Yotai. Anyone who's played Ghost of Tsushima?
Right. I have it in my library.
Pretty much everyone who's played that game has loved that game.
Yes.
And I'm so excited of the next
have
game
you
coming
seen
out.
Have you seen their controller and PlayStation 5 that they have? It actually looks really good. It actually has like actual slice marks into the actual controller.
Ooh, nice.
So it actually looks pretty cool.
And so that'll be a game that gets me back on my PlayStation, because I primarily play on PC, but I do have a PS5. So I'll be back on PlayStation for that game for sure. And then October 29th, Outer Worlds 2.
29th that's coming out?
It's going to be on Game Pass. Yep.
Wow.
October 29th.
Thank God I got Game Pass for
another
PC.
game that has humor and exploration and fun stuff.
I'm sure it has controller
No.
support. Not a dumb question, but
Yeah.
I don't do mouse and
Yeah.
keyboard.
First one did.
Yeah. I don't even know why. Yeah, you'd worry or think about that. Yeah.
I know. Man, that's a
And
lot of
then
games.
November is pretty quiet.
Whoa! You
at least
forgot
as far
October
as
10th.
I care about.
October
What?
10th.
You missed.
Battlefield
I
6.
said these are games I care about. Go ahead and add what you care about.
Fine, you don't want to play it. That's fine. I think you should jump in and play it.
What's
You
October
won't.
10th?
Battlefield 6.
Battlefield.
Dude, I don't know.
Cool. I do want to hear what you guys are looking forward to afterwards, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's when Battlefield comes out?
Yep, October 10th.
Cool. Yeah, well, you really think I'm going to be playing that game?
I guess not. I guess not.
No, but I am curious if there's, after this list, if there's anything you guys are looking forward to also. And I'm almost done. And then, so November, there's nothing that I'm really looking forward to, but there's with all that, that'll last me easily through November. And then, of course, December 2nd, Renegades Destiny 2 is coming out.
That's going to be great.
And that'll give a little bit of Destiny again in December. And, I'll do those things in 2026, but I figured I would just go through the end of the year and just kind of list games that I'm looking forward to. So I'm curious if you guys have any additional comments on my list, games that you're also going to want to play, or any that are not on my list that you're looking forward to.
Well,
like you said, Battlefield.
Scarlet Matty in the Discord said he's going to absolutely be gone when Silksong comes out in like 4 months. So that's when he's looking forward to playing. How about you guys?
So that 2026, I guess?
Silksong, yeah. He said about 4 months. I think it's for like 4 months it'll be out. So it's going to be toward the end of the year, I guess. Yeah.
He said September 4th. That's
oh my gosh, really? Well,
he's going to be gone for 4 months, probably. That's probably what he meant.
we won't see Scarlet Matty for 4 months. I got you, Scarlet.
Yeah.
I got you, man.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What about you guys? Zombie, Deadpool? Any games you guys are jumping into?
I'm just looking forward to Battlefield 6. And
Hell to the yes.
Battlefield 6. Battlefields usually have a good storyline. In case you want to check that out, Kingsley.
Yeah, it has a one-player story, single player. That's a good way to.
Call of Duty.
If you're not haven't really been into Destiny games, they have a whole studio that made the one-player campaign. I think you can bring a couple players in too if you want to co-op it. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Did you see they released the PC trailer for Battlefield 6? They're gonna have DLSS support. They have all the support for PC, man. All the latest technology. In fact, I just updated my my graphics card because setting it up, getting ready for Battlefield 6. So that's kind of a ways away, but I guess they're preloading all the stuff for it. What else you looking forward to, Zombie Pops?
Borderlands 4. And more Destiny, obviously, but
That'll
not much. I'll probably, fiddle around in the Division 2 because I do own that. I played around on it.
okay.
And so
I'll get up with you if you ever want.
So, yeah, I might do that actually. I think that was one of the problems with it. Is I'd get on there and then just kind of run around and not do much. So
I think the doctor in the podcast live stage on our Discord channel said Helldivers, I guess, has a new update too coming out. If it's not out already. I never got into Helldivers too.
Yeah, that we're on Xbox. That already came out and it's big news. Yeah. A couple days ago or something like that.
I need to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, Todd, we need to try it because we're exterminators, man. We're shooting bugs.
It's great.
Yeah,
I got it installed on my PC.
we need to. I need to play it, and it's free to play, right? Helldivers?
No,
it's not. You got to buy it. Okay,
it's like $30 though.
Okay, that's not terrible. Yeah,
it's not. It's cheaper than most games. So.
Anything else? I mean,
only games I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you're done, Zombie. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I mean, that's going to keep me and him busy.
I'm only looking
right there.
forward to the Ghost of Yotai. That's one of the ones I'm looking forward to, and the next thing for Destiny. So that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. I'm not into Call of Duty or into Battlefield anymore. I played the beta for Battlefield, and I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me. I'm a old school Battlefield person, so I loved sniping in the old ones, but it didn't hit with me. The only thing I thought was cool was how the buildings were falling apart. It actually looks more realistic.
Yeah.
Because I actually been deployed and actually seen buildings falling apart.
Yeah.
So like it actually brought back like cool things, cool memories of watching things blow up. But yeah, I don't really have any other games. The game I was really looking forward to doesn't come out until next year. So
Yeah, we know what that is. Rockstar's newest. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's about Florida. I'm gonna at least look into it. Yeah, dude, Battlefield is in a dilemma right now. If you notice, they've been putting out a lot of information lately about how they're changing the movement to be more like a standard Battlefield game used to be. The thing I didn't like about the beta, it was a little too high action. It was a little too crazy for me. I like being able to work with my squad and work around an area to take a flag, but I have a whole field to run through. The maps they used were so small and it was so hectic. I had to play with the bots first just to get used to playing Battlefield again. And when I jumped into that and it was like mixed with players and bots, it was like I don't know, like up to rank 6, you could do it to kind of, test your guns and stuff. I actually had a good time playing that, but as soon as I jumped into the regular Conquest playlist, it was just crazy, man. And I was seeing videos of some of these mouse and keyboard players that just looked like they had aimbots on. They were just stat freaking accurate. I don't know if they had an aimbot on or not, but damn, this kid was accurate. And I'm like, how is he zeroing in on heads that quick? And I think half the people said it's a bot, and then other guys came to his defense and said, no, that's my friend. He's that good. I'm like, holy shit, I'm making sure crossplay is not on when I play Battlefield 6. I'm going to be playing on PS5. So, it'll be fully supported. It'll be 4K, probably 120 frames. If 60's fine with me even. But they've been trying, they're throwing a lot of money at this game, man. It reminds me of a Concord where they're putting a ton of money in development time and they're splitting it between 4 studios. They're really going for it. And they are really in a tough spot here because they want to appeal to the Call of Duty players, but they also want to appeal to the hardcore Battlefield fans too. They're trying to bring all the Battlefield guys back, and it seems to be working because when the beta was up, I saw a lot of old Battlefield buddies jumping online. I saw them. I saw their gamer tags popping up on my notifications. So we'll have to see when once October gets here. I will promise you, I will not be doing a podcast about Battlefield. As much as I love that game, I just don't have the love for it that I used to, and it's going to take a lot for me to turn my back from Destiny to Battlefield or trying to split time with it. Absolutely Borderlands 4. I've heard so many good things about it, and I definitely am looking forward to doing that. JD, can't they need a senior division for you? No.
Yeah, they do. You wimp. You're not going to play with PC players.
No. Dude.
Think about that grandpa. There's a grandpa that actually plays Battlefield.
I know Grandpa Gaming. I know Grandpa Gaming.
Yeah, Grandpa Gaming. I watch
but
all his stuff.
If you look though, all he does is snipe. I mean, he used to be a Navy sniper. I think he used to be a sniper in the Navy. All he does is snipe, where you don't have to worry about twitch reflexes. You can sit way back in the map and just keep plinking away at people as they run across. And I mean, that's just kind of boring for me. I want to be at least.
It takes takes some skill though, because you got bullet drop. Actually, is realistic. You got bullet drops. So
I realize that. You got to use the scope. You actually have to use the indentations and the measurements on the scope to actually, because it is. But it's really weird, man. I didn't see projectiles when I shot my gun in Battlefield 6 beta. I'm wondering if it's more like Destiny where there's no bullet drop and stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't want to get too far into the weeds. Do you see some? You saw bullet drop?
Yeah, I played as a sniper like once on accident.
I didn't play any snipering. I played. What do you think I played? Assault rifles. Assault rifles. I played support.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, I did. Because I can revive people. I can throw ammo.
Yeah.
I can help my team the best.
Rifle.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I know.
I forgot to mention. I might dabble back into Division 2. But I play hardcore, and I play in the Dark Zone. I don't play
Really?
any of so I'm one of those hard. Yeah,
You like the Dark
I'll
Zone?
create a character.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I create a character. I'll go through the Dark Zone, and I will see how far I could get
Wow.
before I die and have to create another one.
Wow.
I have a few of my buddies that we used to do that. So that was
Cool.
one.
I
That
mean,
was like our thing.
I'm not even to end game yet, so I'm still learning all this, but like I can kind of tell like just with all the things that they have in it, it's really scratching my itch. And I'm like level 35, almost to level 40, and I'm just barely starting to like get familiar with like using the library and tinkering stuff. And like I just kind of finished all the main campaign, and like I'm like, oh boy, yeah, there's a lot. I want to go back and do all the old bosses, like all the hunts and stuff. And I haven't even done Descent or Summit yet, and I definitely want to try those other things. So I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, I haven't
In
even
the Dark
finished.
Zone, you can actually level up. You can actually level up almost 3 to 4 times fast. You can actually level up your character really quick in the Dark Zone, and
Yeah,
then
I don't
once you're
care
done
about
leveling
leveling
up,
up
you can leave the
fast.
Dark Zone. So-
That's why I
Yeah.
don't care about leveling in
No.
Destiny also, but I like the experience more. But yeah,
Well, I've already completed the game, so
yeah.
I've been doing that. That's like my go-to now. Like if
Wow.
I do play that
Oh, that's
game,
fun. Yeah.
all I do is just do the Dark Zone and just create a character. Yeah, if I die in the Dark Zone, I lose that character, but I just create another one and do it again.
Oh, thank you.
So,
No,
yeah,
that's-
Yeah,
it
I'm
gives me something to do.
definitely still never really gonna probably be interested. I doubt I will in Division also in like PvP type stuff. I'm more about like the exploration and the looter shooter PvE side, but I'm willing to give it a try at least to see if I like it better than Destiny.
Oh, I honestly don't know how I'm going to get all these games played. I mean, I still haven't finished Expedition 33. I still need to finish that. I'm sure I got at least 10 more hours of gameplay there. I got to sink into it. So
No. You probably have like 2 to 3.
2 to 3
at
hours.
most.
Okay, I need to just
At
knock
most,
that out.
yeah.
I need to just knock that out, especially before the Game Awards come around.
Because the story, you could even
Yeah.
maybe like 1 hour if you really went fast.
Okay.
But like 2 to 3 to be safe. Yeah.
All right,
I saw where you were.
I just need to over the weekend just get in there and jump in and play. I know the grind's getting tiring, so it might be a good time to do that. So, all right, before we move on to our other two topics, we are going to take a small break here and go over this week in Destiny. Be right back. All right, let's try to keep Gator on the rail where he doesn't get off into too many tangents. Okay,
Hi.
here we go.
Hi.
3, 2. This week in Destiny for August 28th, 2025. Before we get started with our weekly round of news for Destiny 2, we'd like to take a moment to touch on some feedback and conversation around the portal and its rewards. Boy, do you. I'm going to read the first paragraph and then I'll go over the changes they're going to make. We initially outlined some goals on August 7th dedicated to improving progression, increasing Crucible and Fireteam Ops rewards, and addressing feedback around raid rewards. Last week, we covered a handful of improvements to scoring and portal of rewards. We also announced plans to tune some rewards down in solo and Pinnacle Ops. Boy, did you. Based on player feedback, we're revisiting our approach to balancing progression. I had a feeling. As we believe our previous approach was too conservative with these nerfs, would work against our goals of improving progression. To be clear, we believe these changes were the wrong call. Well, hell, at least they admitted to it, you know? So we want all activities in the portal, solo, and Fireteam base to feel rewarding. We want our activities to contribute understandable and meaningful progress to the climb in power. As such, the following changes are being made immediately. They have planned reductions to power earned for a given grade within solo ops has been reverted. Good. Planned reductions of engrams earned in Encore, Starcrust, and Whisper have been reverted. The planned change for prime engrams to require decryption in the tower has been reverted. That's big because I can't imagine how many people would have to be really tired to go to the tower every time to see what they got from a prime engram, which they're probably going to use to infuse anyway. They're going to make some buffs in Fireteam Ops. They're increasing match-made Fireteam Ops time limits across the board. 25% more for Expert, 50% more for Master, and 75% more for Grandmaster. In Ash and Iron, they're going to increase the number of drops for Liminality, Inverted Spire, and Onslaught. Widow's Court, part of it. The activity timers have been rebalanced for Solo, Pinnacle, and Fireteam Ops. Fireteam Ops has a greater value for speed versus killing all enemies. Okay. New, and it says new in parentheses in asterisks, increase the number of drops for many more activities in Fireteam Ops. This is what I said last week. You want people to play Fireteam Ops? Fine. You better rain us with more loot. Otherwise, we're just going to revert back to playing solo ops, even if it is only +2 instead of +3. Well, we won't like it, but it still might be the easier way to get stuff done. All right, I'm not going to go down that hill. Our team is still working on finalizing which specific activities we can buff up, and we'll share more details as we finish validating this change. Also new, removing unpopular mods like Grappler from Fireteam Ops matchmaking pool, though this will still be selectable when customizing. Okay, good news. Good news all around. Okay. Buffs and portal rewards, chance of a prime Ingram drop per completion reward. In Liminality Inverted Spire, there'll be more chances for prime Ingrams to drop. And something new they're adding, we are working on creating a more consistent power reward experience for upper power climb in Ashen Iron. This will be power 500 to 550. It's good to know that they're looking into different ways of working up in your power, because once I hit 400, I have no interest in going to 450. And as we talked about in my topic of the week last week, it doesn't mean you're going to be raining in loot unless you do comp or the loot cave. That's the only two ways that people are rained in loot right now that are at 450. Everything else is not being supported for 450 and tier 5 stuff. So at least not in the same way as those other two activities I just mentioned. Let's see. Also, our hope is to continue to iterate and improve the progression through the power band with these increases to Fireteam Ops. So yes, good. We're bringing back heavy metal next week. They talk about class identity, defining warlocks, titans, and hunters. I might go over that. Let me see how crazy it is. Heavy metal, of course, is where you get the actual Gryphon exotic sparrow, which you can actually shoot things with. It's an actual sparrow you can fire things at. Unless they buffed it, it wasn't very strong for me. Just that's my opinion. So, and it's very slow to boot because it is a combat sparrow. I just go back to my surfboards.
It was kind of strong, but it was way too slow.
It was just too slow, and I don't know. I just thought my gun would do faster damage than me sitting on the sparrow getting planked at from snipers, you know. The emblem, if you didn't get it last time, it's available still. Class, Fantasy, and Destiny. When you boot up Destiny 2 for the first time, your Guardian class is the first choice you ever make as a light bearer. Do you want to be the floaty one holding the fireball, the slender one with the cape and blade, or the big one with the single monstrous shoulder piece? Each Guardian class has a unique fantasy that players assume as they play. When we talk about fantasy at Bungie, we often split them into emotional fantasy and mechanical fantasy to oversimplify. Emotional fantasy is how you feel when you play. Mechanical fantasy is what you do when you play. When it comes to mechanical fantasy or the gameplay role that the classes play in combat, Destiny's classes don't have the hard lines that some other RPGs have. This is partially due to the demands of the fast-paced action game, but also because Guardians are tiny gods with the power to cross lines and break rules. We do not have a dedicated healer class or DPS class. Yes, we are deliberating giving certain classes more access to some keywords to reinforce their class identity, but rarely do we give them exclusive access to a keyword. After all, if all the classes have equal access to everything, then what's the point of having them, right? So they're going to dive deeper into class identity, and I'm going to skim over this. I'm not going to read it line by line. Warlocks, they weaponize the mysteries of the universe to sustain themselves and devastate their foes. The Warlock is the arcane spellcaster of the group. What they lack in strength and speed, they make up for in knowledge and sorcery. They're best at performing complex magical rituals that persist in the world. Warlock's universal class abilities give access to health recovery and ally empowerment. The traits are battlefield control, arcane abilities, ally improvement. Moving forward, we plan to reinforce their Warlock identity. In the short term, we're working on enabling deeper build crafting and finding ways to give Warlocks more ability uptime. I'm loving what I'm hearing here. The Empowering Rift change coming in Ashen Iron update is part of this. Yes, I heard about that. Longer term, we'd like to give Warlocks more healing options and passive benefit to match other classes. Titans do bonus uncharged melee, and Hunters have higher base movement speed. Here are some of the upcoming changes we're working on. Okay, generally, the following Warlock turrets will now count as grenade stats and perks. Ionic Sentry, Arc Soul, Helion, Bleak Watcher, Child of the Old Gods. Empowering Rift, the class ability, will now generate neutral game ability energy over time. Kills while standing in the Empowerment Rift will now generate bonus ammo progress. 15% for special weapons more, and additional 10% for heavy weapons. We don't really need to read the Titan Hunter, do we?
Well, you said you weren't going to do it line by line. Now you got to do it line by line for the other two.
Yeah.
It's not that long,
Can't
I
leave
guess.
us out. Can't leave us Hunter.
I
though.
mean,
Fine.
But I do have a quick
Maybe.
comment
Yeah,
on
go
the
for it.
Warlock real quick.
Yeah, man.
So the stuff about the buddies, that's not really the main thing people were asking for. I feel like on the Warlock, where we felt weak was just grenades in general.
Melees.
And or melees, you can say whatever you want, right? But like all we're really hearing so far is, I mean, that's cool that Arc Buddies will be a grenade stat perk now, but like this isn't really solving what people are asking for, I feel like. So hopefully we hear more going forward.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what these arcane abilities improvements are going to be, but we'll see. All right, the Titan. Oh, it's not long. There's not much to say about Titans. The Titan is the knight of the group. What they lack in magical ability and range, they make up for in strength and sustainability. They're the tip of the spear, creating cover to establish the front line. The Titan is not a traditional melee or tank class, but they have universal access to damage mitigation and increased melee damage. The traits of the Titan are aggressive assault, damage mitigation, and artillery expert. Going forward, we'd like to get some more artillery expert flavor into the Titan's kit and give them more opportunities to flex their tactician muscles. In the short term, we're working on some updates to behemoth abilities. Longer term, we'd like to make updates to Ward of Dawn and the Sentinel subclass. Among other things, here are a couple of upcoming Titan changes we're working on. Howl of the Storm, it's a stasis aspect, will now grant 2 melee charges. Changed stasis crystal spawn pattern and added 4 more crystals. And Bastion, the void aspect, will now have faster cooldown in PvP. I gotta think about how that's going to affect me in the PvP. Okay. The Hunter, agile and daring. Hunters are quick on their feet and quicker on the draw. The Hunter is more of the rogue of the group. What they lack in brute force and sorcery, they make up for in precision and agility. They're battlefield provocateurs, slipping into the enemy's ranks, leaving traps and causing chaos. They quickly find new angles to attack from, dividing the enemy's attention to make them more vulnerable. The Hunter's class abilities give access to directional speed burst and damage avoidance. The traits of the Hunter: attack precision, infiltration, damage avoidance. Going forward, we'd like to give Hunters more abilities to help support their fire team. In the short term, we're working on giving Gunslinger an update. Longer term, we'd like to address the feedback that Night Stalker relies too much on invisibility. You think? Looking at Respawn. Among other things, here are some of the Hunter changes we're working on. On your mark, solar aspect. Stacks on your mark now give weapons stat instead of weapon handling and reload. Max of 40 weapon stat at 10 stacks. The rescaled stack count to a max of 10 stacks. Precision hits now give 1 stack. Precision final blows now give 2 stacks. Precision final blows at 10 stacks now cure you instead of giving radiant. Okay. Golden Gun, Deadshot, the Solar Super now refunds ammo on the Golden Gun final blows instead of on ignitions. Now extends super duration on Golden Gun final blows, and duration gain diminishes with final blows, grants less in the Crucible. And then, of course, Marksman's Dodge, class ability, now reloads all weapons on activation. That was once an exotic perk. Now picks up nearby ammo bricks on activation. That is huge. Okay. The wrap up, I guess the summary here is we love all the Destiny classes equally, and they're dedicated to making sure that each has a chance to shine. We don't want any of our classes to be viewed as DPS class. All 3 classes should be capable of roughly the same amount of damage output. That said, there will always be certain builds that are more effective than others in different contexts. We'll continue to balance subclass builds to ensure that we don't have any clear win buttons and ensure that each class feels powerful. In the future, we're interested in doing more to make each class's identity more distinct, potentially through stronger passive effects for each class. However, this adds more complexity to an already complex game, and the player experience comes first. We truly appreciate the feedback you've given on the classes, and we ask that you continue to provide feedback whenever you have it. Okay, there you go. We have some activities coming up in the Destiny community. They have an Edge of Fate art blast. From the beautiful scenery of Kepler to the new enemies, armor, and abilities that melded together to breathe life into the Edge of Fate, the awe-inspiring Destiny 2 art team worked carefully to create something magical for the newest expansion. Now the team is sharing some of the art that helped turn the Edge of Fate from concept to launch. Check out the ArtStation article. There's a link here to get a good look at all the art of the Edge of Fate in all its glory. All right, PAX West cosplay meetup. If you want to know the particulars on that, it's Sunday, August 31st, which I don't even think our podcast will be done by then. There's a creator lore panel. That's on the 28th. This is all on the weekend, so head over to bungie.net if you want to look into these activities. Destiny Rising did launch today. And any of you guys jump into Destiny Rising?
I did
checked it out.
Yeah, for like a couple minutes, and then I got busy with something else.
What's your initial impressions, Zombie?
It was all right for a mobile game. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Third person. It's a little strange.
That's right.
I'm actually updating it right now on my phone to get this cool emblem. But, yeah.
Yeah, the emblem. That's all you have to do. There's a starboard forward emblem that it actually is not bad. It's got a wolf face on it, which is kind of nice. Complete the Bear in the Light Destiny Rising. Once you complete it, redemption code will populate on your screen. You have an optional click on the in-game button, redirects you to bungie.net, log into your account, and redeem the code on bungie.net. You'll now have the starboard forward emblem in your game collection the next time you log in. It's really nice. It's a nice one. I haven't tried it yet. I just downloaded it on my phone. And
I'm excited to try the Sparrow Racing. I haven't tried it enough to give an opinion yet.
Yeah, when do we have time to play all these games? I swear to God.
Yeah.
I know they're giving away a lot of.
I
I know they're giving a lot of free spins, and we get some free. First one's free, right? First taste is for free.
So they get
Actually, it was like 4, I think, because of the 10 million people. Was it like 4? Everyone gets 4 free or something?
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know, man. I've never played many gacha games, and I don't know if I want to play one. The main thing is hanging me up is I'm not a mobile game player. And yes, I know I can get BlueStacks and use an emulator, but I don't know if it's going to have controller support. It might still have to use mouse and keyboard for that.
Well, I know with my phone you can connect the Xbox controller to the phone and play on it.
You can with the PS5 as well. I'm pretty sure I used a PS5 controller when I did the what is it, the beta, the early beta where they gave limited things out.
And on, if you have an iPhone and a Mac, you can mirror your iPhone onto a Mac screen. So that's how I'm going to be checking it out later. I didn't have time to do that yet.
Okay.
And I'm going to hook up my PS5 controller. And so in essence, I mean, it won't be full screen on the computer, but it'll be a lot bigger.
Okay.
So it'll be really interesting to see what it looks like.
How are you getting it on your screen? What
It just works. Apple just because Apple makes iPhones, Apple makes Macs. They just have a magical way where you can get your iPhone screen on your Mac if you want.
Yeah, I don't know my Mac though. That's the problem. Okay. Well, I may look into it. I'll look and see. Player support report. Say that 5 times fast. Okay. Players who just bought that new Gladius armor set, the Titan, if you equip it on PlayStation consoles, it will crash if they enter the portal activities. Wow, that's a blunder. I just had to mention that because I like that new Gladius set. In fact, I bought it on one of my alt accounts. So I realized I had some silver in there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Little minor things. I'm still getting B errors every now and then. I'm on my PlayStation 5 when I'm playing portal activities. I've seen a lot more contacting Destiny servers lately than I'm used to normally seeing. So anyway, that's it for this week's TWID. If you're planning on jumping in at the very start of Heavy Metal, are you going to do that? Or maybe you want to dive deeper into the class fantasy info we just dropped and tell us what you think. We love hearing your feedback and voices, so keep the conversation going. We look forward to getting more updates from you guys in the coming weeks and appreciate all the feedback we've received so far. We are in this together. Destiny 2 community team. Thank you, Destiny 2 community team, as always, for communicating with us every week. I'm still worried about the grind. I haven't really been grinding on my other accounts because I was hoping and thinking that Bungie was going to make the grind easier, and it doesn't seem like that's happening. They've reverted their decisions to where we are now. I don't see that as an improvement. I see that pretty much back to status quo. I'm curious to see how many engrams they're going to be throwing at these Pinnacle and Fireteam ops. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see there, I guess.
But why would you want the grind to go faster? Because then wouldn't people be complaining that they're done and they have nothing to do?
I was hoping the grind would be a little easier. Well, it's a selfish reason.
Longer?
Because I have other accounts in all the clans. We have 3 GDC clans, and I'm trying to rank up my other characters where they can at least jump into a raid or something. You know, if we're doing a clan raid or something, I'd be able to.
No. You know, they don't need to be ranked up for that. You know that.
I know, but I still want to have some guns, some of the latest guns and stuff. So just a taste.
What?
I just
You
want
can't transfer guns?
not between accounts.
Oh, accounts. Yeah. Gotcha.
Say I have my exterminator.
That's a new problem. Most people don't have multiple
it's like I said, it's a selfish reason. But I still think the grind takes too long. I still think it takes too long. I mean, think of all the games we just talked about. We're gonna play this. We're wanting to play this fall. I don't know.
Ignore
Man.
the grind.
You could very much do that.
I have multiple accounts.
Yeah, you
I
could.
have multiple accounts.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can make it work with multiple accounts, or you can ignore it. You can take any tact you want.
Yep.
It's very
Play
true.
The way you want to play.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. JD Kent said, I keep getting a solar kill achievement like Solstice event still going on. Yeah, I'm sure there's some bugs. Little ghost in the machine. You know, this machine's been out for 11 years now. So you imagine there's going to be some gremlins in some of it. So, all right, let's get back to our topics of our round table. We've got 2 more left. We'll do that right after this. All right, good. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Deadpool, you're going to be up next, man. Let me get everything zeroed in here. Yep.
I made a summary of all my stuff, so I have it all written right here, so that way I could.
Yeah, I'm actually, because I already talked about Zombie Pop's topic in a previous podcast. I'm really curious about yours. I'm really excited about your topic tonight, man, because it's an interesting topic for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're waiting for Zombie to get back. So stop.
Yeah. Tell me if you can hear that fan on the mic.
No, I don't hear it. You're good, man. I'm telling you, that dynamic mic is awesome. Both of you have dynamic mics, which means you can have background noise. I got 2 fans blowing underneath me right now. Not at full blast, but
Sweating my butt off.
you know, she can't hear it. It's the great thing about dynamic mics. If you guys ever want to know what kind of mic to get, if you want to stream or something, just hit me up. I've got all kinds of mics that I can tell you. You can, depends how much money you want to spend, of course. This is an SM.
Talking about streaming, I streamed last weekend. I was streaming
Nice.
for a little bit, just random stuff.
Nice, man.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. This mic you can use it for so many different things. And what's great is so durable, you can just throw it in a drawer. It's a heavy duty mic. It's nothing like these gaming headsets that break when you drop them. This mic you can literally throw in your junk drawer and just grab it whenever you need it. It's that freaking durable. It's like
This one's been sitting in a Rubbermaid box.
Yeah, you can hurt someone with that mic, man. It's got some weight to it. It's just got a steel body, not steel, but maybe a hard plastic body on it. I'm telling you, you can hurt somebody with it. Anyway, that's beside the point, Todd. You don't need to tell people that. Okay. All right, Deadpool, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2. All right, Deadpool 1 Merc is next. Deadpool, what topic are you bringing to the round table tonight, sir?
All right. So the name of my topic is Quest versus Grinding in MMORPGs, and which playstyle suits you best. So I'm gonna go ahead and summarize this article. It was a really good article. So I do play a lot of role playing games, and I have played a lot of things like that and RPGs and stuff like that. But Quest and MMORPGs provide structure, story, and rewards, often teaching mechanics while immersing players in the game world. When well designed, they feel meaningful, but poorly implemented quests can become chores. Grinding can contrast and repetitive, but offers freedom autonomously for even a like a random player or a player that doesn't have much time, but it also allows for good flow. It can be satisfying for players chasing progress, but also risks becoming mundane. Most MMORPGs blend quest and grinding, letting players switch between goal-driven progression and self-directed play depending on their mood or stage in the game. So one of my favorite games, I'm going to bring up one of my favorite games. It's an old game. I don't know if you guys remember the game Fable.
Yeah.
Um, Fable, I love that game so much because you could choose
Yeah.
if you wanted to do something bad, you wanted to do something good, and I miss games like that where you actually had a more independability, where you could actually go about doing things however you wanted to. So if you wanted to do the bad quest, you could go ahead and do the bad quest, but you still had the option to go back and do all the good quests.
Mhm.
So you still had those options. I feel like I love grinding. I love Destiny. I love playing the game and grinding for it. But I feel like sometimes it doesn't hit. I feel like sometimes it doesn't hit. Like with the gear, I remember I said something. I put a comment or something on one of the previous episodes. That or it was one of the questions of the week. At first, I felt like the gear and the weapons weren't that great. Only because I was only getting the tier ones and stuff like that. But as I progressed, as I was grinding, some of the tier fours and some of the tier fives that I was getting actually seemed a lot better. And I know some people they don't like to grind, and I know some people just want to like explore the game and be able to do things like that. And my topic, reason why I picked it is because I'm one of those people that I like to do multiple things. I grind and I like to have like a really good in-depth story. I know some people don't care about the story. Like one of our good friends, Jeff, who just plays Crucible.
He does, man.
So, that's all he does is just play
He
Crucible.
didn't even finish Final Shape. I'm amazed. Boggles my mind.
Yeah. So, there's people like that, and it to me it just stood out because he's not the only one I know that just likes Crucible. There's other people that I play with that like that's all they play is Crucible. They don't care about the story. They just want to have fun and play PvP. Versus other people like I have a few friends that like to play the story and they want to continue repeatedly playing the story. Unlike
Yeah.
but this new story, a lot of my friends they don't really like the mechanics because of the matter spark and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that do make it fall down, and some things that do bring up positive things. Like in Fable, you can create your character and you had a whole bunch of great custom abilities. But if you went the dark route, you would see the horns coming out of your character's head because he was
That's awesome.
doing all the evil stuff.
That's great.
And those are things that I like and I wanted to achieve when I played Fable. Because I did all the dark stuff in Fable. So I was always that type of person.
So someone could walk by and see that your horns were longer than most, and they say this guy's bad dude here, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
so that's what I liked about it, and it's to me it just seems like there's not everybody. There's like how like we say everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah.
I just feel like we need a better understanding that yes, we got people out there that just want to do PvP. Yes, we got people out there that just want to do story, and yes, we got people out there that want to do both. And it's okay to play how you play, but be mindful if you're going to be playing with other people. They might want to play Crucible. They might want to play other things. So just enjoy the game as best as you can. And that's the topic I'm bringing to the table, and I just want to hear everybody's opinion. And then we'll also want to know how everybody feels. What's your play style? What's your style? What's your specific style? What do you think you fall into? Do you fall into the grinder? Do you fall into the casual player? Do you fall into there's so many different things.
Yeah, it's a good question, man. Zombie, what about you, man? What kind of player are you, and in Destiny or in any kind of MMORPG?
I don't know. I think it depends on the game, like you said. Because Destiny, I used to grind a lot. Now it's kind of got to where there's not as much FOMO. So I just kind of grind to where I'm good. Like I'll probably grind to 400 and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And grind back up to 400. Just so where I can be comfortable rating and not have to worry about getting my butt kicked pretty much.
I already know the answer to this question, but I'll ask Kingsley. Kingsley, what kind of player are you when you play these types of games?
Well, I'll answer it in a second, but first, it's hard because I feel like the way the article was describing quest versus grinding was a little muddled. And so I'm definitely more towards one, but I'm kind of neither in a way. I'll explain why in a second, because like the way he described quests was kind of weird. He would say things like, well, quests can be a chore. Well, grinding can be a chore also. He said, well, grinding can be mundane. Well, quests can be mundane also. It really just kind of depends on what type of quest, what type of grinding it is. If I had to pick one, obviously it's more on the quest side, but I don't want to be doing quests over and over again also if they're static. I want things that are variable. And so it depends on what the definition of a quest is. I mean, like, I think in a lot of games, especially Destiny, quests aren't very interesting to me after once or twice because they don't add in enough variability. That being said, I would still way rather do quests than just grinding. So it's hard for me to answer fairly, in my opinion. I know I'm probably overthinking it, but like I'm definitely not a grinder, like a grinder, like in most people's definitions. But I will grind for weapons that I like, but only to a point, and only if it's an interesting thing that can vary. Like that's why I like raiding, because it can vary depending on who's in the group. I like the missions in Destiny until I run them like 3 or 4 times and they get a little boring. So then even if there's a really interesting weapon, I'll probably tap out and just, if I happen to be running it with a crew, and if I get it, great. If I don't really care. But like what Deadpool was saying, so many other games do quests better. They have like variability and stuff. And that's what I wish. Destiny keeps saying like they're gonna have roguelike things and this and that. And like they never really quite do. And I keep hoping that we'll have more variability in the game. But yeah, I guess quest is what I'm more towards.
Okay. I've been thinking.
I feel you about the variability.
Yeah.
So the variability, I that's something that I've always wanted. Like I know there's some games where the enemies spawn differently. They don't always spawn the same. Like here in Destiny, you can learn the spawns. So that's why I solo a lot of strikes, because I remember, Todd, you were talking about this a few weeks ago. Soloing strikes. I solo a lot of content here.
Yeah.
Not only do I solo, but I do play with my clan. But when my clan's not on, I solo a lot of things, and I rather solo things by myself. So I'm the type of player that I don't mind playing with other people, grinding and doing all that stuff. But I also like to do solo play, where I can depend on myself, and then if I mess up, I mess up, and not get frustrated because somebody else is messing up. Sorry, Todd, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine, man. No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because to answer your question, the reason I like to solo strikes, it's a challenge for me. Anytime you solo any activity in Destiny, let's just use Destiny as an example, because all I play is Destiny, right? I know what I need to do. I've played it enough times. I know what's going to happen. I know once I kill the third boss, it'll move on to the next phase of the strike. I know how everything works. I've played it a million times. But when you're playing with a group, if it's really like the hardest content, like Grandmaster Nightfalls, then you're forced to work together and communicate more as a group. But if it's anything less than that, it's just not very challenging. I mean, especially people that have run it a ton, looking at you, Soccer. Soccer would always run ahead and annihilate everything, and we'd be just, the other two of us would be just like mopping up the spares that are left behind. And I loved him for that, man, because he wanted everyone to enjoy themselves and have a good time. He's such a good-hearted person. And that's why I always loved it when he would bring us through and do Nightfalls, especially the Grandmasters trying to get our Conqueror title. I'm kind of an enigma, man, when it comes to gaming. If you were to like shooter games, which is where I have to base it on where I've come from, I didn't play a lot of, like the doctor said, Fable was more of a co-op RPG game. My son played a ton of that game, and I thought it was very interesting. You could play all these different kinds of characters, and you had choice on what you wanted to do. But with me, I came from a shooter base, and when I jump into a shooter game, this is what I envision. Let's just say Call of Duty. When I jumped into a Call of Duty game, I knew I was going to be gaming every night with my pals, all pretty much my age or around my age, 40s to 50s. And I knew I wanted to make sure I had all the available weapons. I wanted to make sure I had all the available attachments. I wanted to be able to equip myself to whatever the meta was at that time, or what I really was comfortable using or very accurate using in a gun. So my objective when I jump into like Battlefield or a Call of Duty game or any kind of shooter game, even Destiny, I want to make sure I've unlocked everything. And this is kind of what worries me about Battlefield 6, because I saw how basic that attachment system, that weapon system was. And that was not what we played in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, just to give you an example, you would have 15 assault rifles, not carbines, I'm not talking about other types of bodied weapons. They were assault rifles. There would be 5 to 10 different kinds of assault rifles, and every assault rifle, you had to get so many kills on it to unlock the next grip, the next stock, the main thing. As you start unlocking more stuff on the guns, you start unlocking all of these very specific scopes. I'm talking FLIR scopes. I'm talking stuff where you can see through smoke, infrared scopes and stuff. Man, I loved all of that realism and weapon. I mean, you guys being from being a Marine, and thank you for your service, probably saw some of these scopes and stuff that they used in infantry and combat. But I haven't been in combat. I'm Gen X. There wasn't really anything major going on when I was your age, when you guys got into the military, and I'm kind of in that gap. And I never really got to experience all that experience using weapons and stuff. So I live it through my Battlefield game. And because it has so many different realistic scopes and camos, the camos it had for it, depending on what situation you were in, it just had so many unlocks for each weapon. I'm really worried that Battlefield 6 is going to, I hate the word saying codify it, because everyone seems to use that now when it comes to making anything like Call of Duty. But I'm really worried that won't be the case. But staying on my point, when I jump into a game, I want to unlock everything first, and then I want to have fun using whatever I want. I don't want to ever say to my fire team, oh, that weapon, you haven't unlocked it yet. I can't help you because I haven't unlocked it yet. I don't ever want that to happen. So whenever I jump into a shooter game, that's what I want to do, is I want to unlock all the attachments. I want to have all the weapons available to me. But Destiny, though, the reason I say I'm kind of an enigma is because in Destiny 1, I actually loved playing the campaign over and over and over again, even though I knew what was going to happen. And that's not like me, because I'll see a movie one time, and unless it's like a classic like Matrix or something that's just an iconic movie of the time, I really don't want to see it again. I already know the ending. I already know what's going to happen. But somehow with Destiny 1, I would get all of my characters and I would keep playing. That's why I had so many accounts, because I'd want to go through that progression and level up my Guardian and make them strong. And probably why I made a lot of videos on new beginner, Guardian videos out there, because I wanted people to enjoy that part of Destiny. So as far as what kind of player I am, I love story, but like with Edge of Fate right now, I really don't want to put my Titan and my Hunter through the campaign that I just spent hours playing. I already experienced it. I really don't want to do that again. It's kind of a shift from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. I don't really want to play the campaign over again. I'd rather just have those characters jump right into where my Warlock left off and just start killing stuff and start getting weapons and stuff. So for me, I like story, but I like progression. I like the process of upgrading my player until I become very powerful, whether it's to my fire team or running in and being challenged to do stuff solo. Sorry, it's a long-winded answer, but that's the kind of player I am with these types of games. So,
And it shows that the two categories are muddled, because I think what you were really saying with Destiny 1 is you really liked the grind, but the only way to grind was running quests, right?
Yeah, that was
So
all.
that's where these two things can
Yeah.
be muddled together.
Yeah, right.
But I think your answer is grind. Obviously, the short way of saying it.
I like the grind. I do. I like the grind. That's why I love solo ops. And when they were gonna punish us solo players and solo ops starting in Ash and Iron, I was like, this may kill the grind for me, because I got to have enough reason to grind, and I have to see that progression. There's a certain level everyone has to grinding before they say, this game over here looks a lot more fun. I'm gonna go over here and play this game. Everyone has that wall that they hit where they're just like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And I haven't hit that wall yet, but I'm worried that Bungie is going to force that wall to become sooner than later with the grind that we seem to be doing now. So anyway, that was a good topic, Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one of the other games I used to play was before Destiny was Final Fantasy 14. So Final Fantasy 14 was one of my other big games I used to play, and I love the way they did it. You had your own, like, if you were in a guild, they had like places where you could buy mansions, and then if you're in the guild, you could buy a room, and you can store all your stuff in the room. You also had your like vault system, so like you had all this other stuff, and that was my favorite thing, because I would grind in that game to get everything. I would try to get all the mounts. I would try to get all the weapons. I actually try to get all the classes, all of them up high. That was like my favorite thing to do. I love grinding, but if grinding changes and it makes it harder for me, it just takes that joy away from me, because that's another thing I used to do in Call of Duty. When I played Call of Duty and Battlefield, I would just focus on certain weapons and grind them out.
Getting the camos, right? Getting the headshots. You want the diamond camo.
And then, so like, I feel like that's one thing that I like doing. I know everybody has their own opinion, and some people they could be in between, or they could be on either side. But there's other play styles. There's just not those play styles. There's other play styles too. So
I mean, this is why the vault, it gives me stress all the time, because I don't want to get rid of some of these weapons that I really played a long time to get. And yes, I may forget about these weapons. I may never use them again, but if I have the option where I want to jump in and play some Crucible, and I heard that this one auto rifle is really kicking ass right now, I want to be able to have a copy of that to go try it out. Even possibly make a video about it. I don't know. But yeah, man, as you can probably tell, I don't like having a lack of resources when I play a video game. And that's why I farmed relic iron forever on Mars in Destiny 1, because I wanted to make sure I had a lot of it, and seeing a big number of it in my inventory made me feel good. Like I could build anything I want now. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people who do not share that sentiment when it comes to this kind of game, but that's how I see it. It's why I've loved it all these years.
I like having a lot of materials, because I know in Final Fantasy there was it wasn't really like a limit in Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy, you had multiple places you could store your stuff, and you can store things in other places. Like, I know everybody's hurting on enhancement cores, but I'm looking at my PlayStation right now. I'm looking at mine. I have 8,944 enhancement cores.
I'm getting up there.
So
I still use them as I get them, but
same here.
Yeah, it's the new currency. I don't know that enhancement cores people are having an issue with.
They drop them like candy now. When you play solo ops, you're getting tons of enhancement cores, enhancement golf balls. I've been getting those. I've been getting the prisms as well. And keep it up, Bungie. That's awesome to see that little gold thing in a chest. You're like, oh, what do we got here? Oh, enhancement prism, awesome. And I'll even get, because they're raining so many enhancement cores now, I'm actually going to Raul and I'm trading them in for enhancement prisms, because when I start making all these builds from all this new armor that we're getting, I want to make sure masterworking that stuff is not cheap. It takes a lot of cores and stuff to do. So
the unstable cores, I got 35K for the unstable cores.
Wow. Yeah, I was at 100K, but then I started making some grenade builds Let me see. I got a demo up here. I'll tell you how many I got. Let's see.
Can't find it.
Yeah, it's going to be under your resources, I believe. Let's see. It should be.
You gotta go into inventory. It's
Yeah.
under your inventory right next to the
Oh,
glimmer.
bottom.
No, it's right next to your glimmer. I have.
Okay.
Oh, it just. Oh no, wait a minute. Where is it? It's next to your glimmer.
Yeah, on the PlayStation, I see it right next to my glimmer.
I'm looking at
Oh,
dim.
you got to.
I'm looking at
If you're
dim.
looking dim,
Let's
it's
see if
bottom.
it might be down here in my regular.
It's okay. You can add it in the podcast later.
Yeah, I'll add it. I'll add it in post. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm starting to feel a little more easier on enhancement cores. So, but I had like 100 and something thousand of them, and then all of a sudden I had like 50, like half. I'm like, oh my god, it costs so much.
You blow through them. You blow through them so quick. Like I know I've been blowing through them too because I've been upgrading gear. I'll find something. I'm like, oh, this looks better. This is better. This works better for my build. And then, then
Well,
I'm like, oh, I just used a whole bunch.
You want to start bringing some of your exotic weapons and armor up, and from 10 to 400 is like 8 or 9,000 of those unstable cores. It adds up quick, man. It really does. So they need to chill on that. I know we get them if we dismantle gear that we can't use, and we get like 500 or 600 of them at a time, usually on tier 3 stuff. But damn, Bungie, it just seems like we're always a little hamster working toward that stuff. It's always one currency that they have to make, really tough to get in the game. And I guess that's what drives player time. But anyway, thanks.
Yeah, like the power grind.
Yep. Well, yeah, like the power grind. Exactly. Yeah. It was a good topic, Deadpool. I'm glad you brought it to the show tonight because, I had to kind of think about what kind of player I am because I think I've changed as I've gotten older gaming. I'm more about security and having the resources and weapons and availability of everything around me. I think that's why I grind so much. So it's just me. Anyway. Okay. The final topic of the night is coming up next, and that's me. Be right back. Thanks, man. That was good. Very good. That was a good conversation.
You should go first sometime. It'd be a fun mix-up.
I'll change it up sometimes. Yeah, you're right. I probably should, but I kind of like wrapping up the show. And this one's very much Destiny related too, so it kind of puts a nice bow on the Destiny game.
Oh my gosh, I thought we weren't talking Destiny today.
It's kind of Destiny's involved. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, okay, everybody good to go?
I always bring up Destiny because it's like the only game Todd plays. So it's like
it's only I can relate. It's only I can relate to. If it's Call of Duty Battlefield, Call of Duty Zombies, or
Call of Duty Destiny,
or Borderlands, I can relate to what you're talking about. But other than that, I'm sorry, I can't. Final Fantasy. I don't know how long it's been since I played a Final Fantasy game.
How much do you know Borderlands? You didn't even really play 3, right?
The last one I played of those.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna play Borderlands 4 just because it's become more Destiny-like. They've been inspired by Destiny, so. All right, here we go.
He was inspired by Destiny also.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of studios kind of influence what other studios make. So, and we're going to talk about that here.
You should check out the Ghost mission in 3. It was a lot of fun. The side mission.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a Destiny.
I've got 3 up here on my short. I've got a shortcut of it. Yeah. I remember that sonic weapon. Their weapon design is off the charts, man. I can't wait to see what they bring. I heard they're going to mix TDR. They're going to mix all the different kinds of weapon foundries and different attachments for each gun. That's going to be cool. I can't wait. It's going to be kind of neat.
The thing about if you like playing different characters, Borderlands has always had more classes than Destiny has. You can replay it and have a different experience each time.
Well, that's where the grind will stop for me. Once I run every character through the campaign, I'm done. Because after that, it's about running through the story a million more times. And if I don't see a big benefit from it, then I fill up my talent trees and where I think I will benefit from them. And then once I'm done with the story, I'm done. And then I'll move on to another character. And once I grind all 5 or 10 or whatever characters there are, then I'm usually done with Borderlands. I'm usually pretty bored after that. So until the DLC comes out. So like Tiny Tina or something like that comes out with an expansion. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully my voice will remain intact. Here we go. All right, to wrap things up tonight, we've been talking about how Sony is in the process of taking over the reins at Bungie. And with the latest development of Pete Parsons leaving the company and Justin Truman taking over as head of Bungie Studios, we as Destiny 2 players have kind of wondered what's the next step with Sony and especially with Bungie. So tonight we're going to dive into some major developments in the world of gaming, specifically what's happening between Sony and Bungie, and I don't know, what could it mean for Destiny 2 and beyond? So if you missed the news, Pete Parsons has stepping down as Bungie CEO and Justin Truman is taking over the reins. I mean, that's a big shift, especially as Bungie continues its integration into Sony's family of first-party studios. Naturally, Destiny players are asking, what the hell's next? What's that mean exactly? So I came across a fascinating piece in the Financial Times titled, "Sony is building a vast games empire. Can it keep control?" It featured insights from Herman Hulst, the head of PlayStation Studios right now, and how Bungie's new boss, it is Bungie's new boss. What I found was both surprising and honestly a little reassuring. Sony's gaming division is trying to strike a delicate balance, giving its 20 first-party studios creative freedom, but while still managing risk and revenue. And Holt said it best. He, quote, says, "I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we do fail, to fail early and cheaply." I know that news has been going around the internet all over the place lately, but that's a direct response to, everybody knows, the $250 million flop of Concord, which was supposed to be their next big live service game from Firewalk Studios. That failure triggered a major pivot. Sony's previous goal, which was pushed by former PlayStation boss Jim Ryan, was to launch 10 live service games by March. Hulst has now walked that back. Instead, he's focusing on quality over quantity with rigorous playtesting and oversight to avoid future disasters. And I just mentioned an article that just came out today from the Game Post talking about Marathon is getting its longest playtest yet, 30-day playtest, and you get $500 as a thank you reward. I mean, I've never heard of anybody doing that for that amount of time and giving that kind of incentive. Now, I know that some in the gaming community have called Sony a failure with live service games, and the fact that they've canceled 11 live service games from being released, including Twisted Metal, which I still think would have made an awesome live service game. And all the money lost, of course. I think it's over $400 million at this point. I mean, as a business owner, a $400 million loss doesn't really hurt a huge company like Sony. I know it sounds like a ton of money. Movie studios lose money like this all the time, but all they have to do is make it big with a big giant movie that makes up all their losses. So, but I'm going to be a little more proactive and less negative about these takes lately that I've heard. And just keep in mind that Helldivers has been a good example. Even though I don't play the game, I have tons of friends that do. I still believe that Destiny will continue to be successful, not to mention the games we haven't even seen yet from the Bungie studios. I know that Sony excels at, the one-player high production games. And I don't know, it's kind of easy to sit back and criticize, and maybe many out there, don't want to play a live service game. Heck, I mean, I get it. That fallacy of resources on live service games, taking away talent from great one-player games. I mean, Sony is huge and they're stuffed with creative talent. So don't you think that they have the resources to find their way through the live service environment? But I digress. So where does Bungie fit into all this? According to Hulst, Bungie's expertise in network operations and live services is already paying off for them. He's praised their technical know-how. He's saying that they're helping Sony optimize performance across its upcoming titles. Bungie's integration is expected to be fully realized by the end of the fiscal year. I mean, that's huge. It means that Bungie isn't just another studio. They're a cornerstone of Sony's live service ambitions. And with Sony now emphasizing more frequent and diverse playtesting, which we just heard about the Marathon playtest that they just put out, I don't know, there's hope that Destiny 2 and Bungie's upcoming title Marathon maybe will benefit from these new resources. Now let's talk culture. Sony's studios like Sucker Punch and Team Asobi have shared that while they enjoy creative freedom, they're still subject to Sony's decisions on hardware and how they distribute their games. There is a tension there. I mean, how do you scale up without losing the magic of those small, tight-knit teams, right? Studio heads say that they're committed to maintaining that balance. And Sony seems to be listening. The goal is to build iconic franchises that go beyond gaming. Think of The Last of Us, Uncharted, even some anime properties that Sony now owns that I wouldn't know about. So here's my takeaway. Bungie is actually in a strong position. I know it doesn't sound like it with all the drama that's been around the Bungie Destiny community lately. I think they're protected from Sony's studio ecosystem. I mean, they've got access to vast resources now, and they're now being recognized for their strengths. Yes, there's always going to be a risk that corporate oversight could stifle creativity, but so far, Sony seems to be walking that line pretty carefully. And with Marathon reportedly undergoing extensive playtesting ahead of its physical 2025 release, it looks like Bungie is getting the support it needs. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic here. Destiny 2 might just have a bright future under Sony's wing. I mean, I talked about it in a past episode where maybe the Sony takeover is not a bad thing. Maybe the fact that now Sony is overseeing operations at Bungie, maybe they now can offer support, whether it's from another studio or whether they need more funds or more talent they need to shift around to finish their goals and their deadlines and stuff. I think that the fact that they're under Sony's wing now means it's kind of like a mob boss. You're like protected, you don't have to deal with all the problems that come around from being an independent studio. But hey, ask me in 2026. I may be eating my words here, but for now, I'm hopeful. I'm the Destiny shill, right? So I'm curious where you guys fall on this issue. I mean, what do you guys think about this? I know I put a lot of information out here. This is based on the Financial Times interview that they had with Herman Holst. So what do you guys think about all this information? Whoever wants to speak. Whoever wants to speak, go ahead.
I think it's interesting because it's a lot of stuff that you covered, and it's interesting. But to be honest with you, like, I feel that, having Destiny or Bungie around is going to actually help save them and have them learn how to do a better live service. Because granted, they did cancel 11 of them, and yes, that is a lot of money. But at the end of the day, that's nothing compared to what Sony has. Sony makes money in all types of departments.
Oh, they're huge.
It's not just gaming. They sell TVs, they sell all types of stuff.
Yeah.
So Sony's making their money everywhere. So it's not going to hurt them just because they canceled those 11 games. But I feel that with them having Bungie under them, it's going to give them a better insight because Destiny's been doing so great. What they should do is look into games like Fortnite. Fortnite has been doing so great. That's a really good game that's been out. I don't play it. My oldest son plays it, but that's something that's been around for a while, and they make tons of money, and it's a free to download game too. So it's interesting with all the money that they lost, but at the end of the day, it's nothing to them. It's like a paperclip. They just lost a paperclip.
And don't forget that Sony, I believe, indirectly owns HBO and Warner Brothers. They have their hands in so many pies, man. They've spread their risk among all kinds of different entertainment venues and distribution, period, including making movies. So, yeah. Everybody keeps crying, oh, what studio would want to lose $400 million and then say, oh, we're learning from our mistakes. That's one hell of a mistake. I get that. It is a hell of a mistake to make, but Sony has the leeway to make big mistakes like that. And it sounds to me that Bungie is really going to be the way that they can tap into this market, and I know people are probably tired of live service games, but I still think live service and live communities like we're involved in right now, I think it's a good thing, man. I still don't see it going away of the dodo anytime soon, at least from what I've seen. In fact, a lot of games out there like Battlefield are trying to create that online community. They're trying to centralize it. So with Battlefield 6, who knows? We'll have to see. What else? You guys have any other thoughts on this?
I'm trying to think of what the question was, because you had like 10 different questions in there, but I feel like the main one was like the live service thing and creative freedom. And I didn't hear anything in that article that actually did say that Destiny would have creative freedom, because live service games can't be the thing about the first party games is they can come out whenever they want to come out. If they're being delayed, that's fine.
Right.
Live service games can't be delayed indefinitely. They have to have a deadline at some point. They have to, or else it's not a live service game. You can't say like, oh, we're going to delay it another year. They have to have something come out. We know for a fact they have a deadline on Marathon next March. And I can pretty much, until we hear otherwise, we could pretty much guarantee they'll have deadlines on Destiny also. So I'm not so sure that Destiny will have as much creative freedom as you think they're going to have.
The one thing I did hear, Kingsley, when I read that article, it was paywalled. So there were some forums out there that were, I guess, deciphering the interview. And that's where I got a lot of my information from. But I remember the studios like Sucker Punch even mentioned, the head of Sucker Punch even mentioned that, and Herman Holzman even mentioned as well, that they want the studios to feel like they're still independent and have creative freedom and not have to worry about all of the crunch and financial backing that they would need if they were an independent studio out there. The fact that Sony has this 20 plus, that they put under their PlayStation Studios wing. In fact, the Bungie has now become part of that wing, gives me hope that they'll be protected from. At first I thought that Bungie would be dismantled. I thought that they would be absorbed by Sony, and then the name Bungie would just go away. But from what Herman Hulse is saying, and I mean, he may be full of crap. Who knows? He may be just totally corporate speak out there, but he seems pretty optimistic, and he says a lot of good things about the Bungie studio. And, maybe it's not hitting, maybe Bungie is struggling right now, finding that perfect balance with its community. But as far as them reaching out and making a Destiny 3 down the road, this may be 10 years down the road, but the fact that Sony is backing them, even with alternative studio help if they need it, that could be a good thing. It kind of reminds me of the days when they were with Activision, They had all those studios like Raven Studios to help them with what I think is one of the best DLCs out there with Forsaken. So that's where I was kind of getting to. I was kind of because
3 points right there. Yeah.
The main question, Kingsley, that I guess I'm asking, and what this article kind of covered was everybody sees what's happening with Sony absorbing Sony. And I think one of the studios that's under Sony's wing said, it feels terrible that the Sony is absorbed, like you feel like they're coming to take your studio. But what they actually are finding out is that Sony still gives them a lot of room to create great games. And I guess the question we're asking is, seeing all these changes with Pete Parsons and Justin Truman, what does this mean for the future of the game? And I guess that's the main theme here is this Herman Hulse kind of answered it. And the fact he talked about the PlayStation Studios being protected, that's kind of what I was getting at on this. I know it was all over the place on this article, but
and that's what I answered. It's easy when it's a single player game, but when it's a live service game, because of the deadlines that they've had, I'm still concerned. Now, if Sony really does spin up multiple Bungie 2, Bungie 3 studios, then that could be good, but they're still going to have deadlines and less creative freedom, I guarantee, with a live service game than they will a single player studio.
Yeah.
Until we start hearing like, oh, live service games don't need to have any deadlines. They have complete creative freedom. this and that,
Within
this and
reason.
that,
Within
and
reason, yeah.
then I'll have a different answer. But
Yeah. And like I said, ask me again in 2026. I might be eating what I'm saying. My words
on
tonight.
that point, no, you'll still be an optimist. Then you'll say, ask me again in 2027.
Maybe.
Give me another year.
Yeah.
Another year. They're gonna do it, guys. They're gonna do it.
Ask me again in 2028.
Kingsley, you do bring up some good things too, like with the live action, with the live concept games, like they have to come out. They can't be like, oh, we can wait until next year. No, they have to be have to be on it. But like Destiny only pushes over a few months. They can't be like, oh no, we got to take a whole. They can't do stuff like that. When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, it's going to be the same thing when they're doing all their online play. The online play is going to be just like GTA 5. Man, that game has been going for years, but GTA 5, like they gotta keep up the same content and same concept that they have for GTA 5 if they want GTA 6 to survive.
Now, the key is going to be
Fortnite goes through.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Fortnite goes through like content like what, every month, every couple months. So,
I wonder how big their studio is. I bet it's like 10 times the size of Bungie, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Epic.
I had a friend that used to work at Epic, and she used to be one of those people that she would go play games and find the cheaters, and
Dude,
that's what she did for Epic.
They're making billions a month.
Have you guys seen the newest characters they added? They added Zavala. They added who else did they add? They added 3 Destiny characters.
Crossover. Yeah.
Yeah, my son asked me for it was $37. $37 just to get those skins. And I told him I was like, okay. I gave him the $37, but then he was like, I want the Power Rangers too. And I was like, nah. I looked it up. And you can earn, like, in their reward pass, you can earn some of those skins. So like he could get the Power Rangers if he wants them through their battle pass. So, but yeah, it's just crazy. They did so much markup for certain things. $37 just for 3 skins.
Yeah.
The $1 million question here, of course, is going to be, under Sony's new management and oversight, is the Bungie Studios going to be able to perceive what players want to play? And more importantly, can they develop a game years out to where it becomes popular? I mean, that is a tricky game to play, man, when it takes... I mean, I really hope AI really does help programming and designing, doing the coding for games. I really hope it speeds things up, because I think games take longer than movies these days. It's ridiculous how long it takes to make a video game, a good, major production video game, a AAA game out there. And the fact that they have to guess and play fortune teller and figure out what is going to be popular, and is a Destiny 3 going to be popular by the time 2029 comes around? You know what I'm saying? It's a gamble, just like movies are the same way. These studios that make these movies, and they're based on usually current events and culture. And will that apply in 3 years when the movie actually comes out, So I don't know. That's the $1 million question. Now that Sony is running Bungie pretty much, I don't know. Will they be able to, or are they going to be tone deaf? That's the question. And if they're going to be tone deaf, then Bungie will not last very long, or other studios for that matter. So anyway, I read that article and I thought it was a positive spin on Destiny. And I know there's been other content creators out there that have been shitting all over that Herman Hulst interview. And I wanted to just take a more proactive step, a more hopeful take on that. I may be naive, maybe I might be naive, but I'm a business person also. And I know that Sony has deep pockets, man, and they can take those losses. They can try stuff out where other studios don't have the money to try stuff out. So, and
if they were going to do that, then how come they're already upset and took over Bungie then? I think just taking it on the chin and taking the money away.
I think that was going to happen anyway, Kingsley. I think the writing was already on the wall as far as Bungie, because the upper management had so many issues with the upper management. We heard stories of all kinds of things.
they can't just ignore the money, like you're saying,
Oh, of course
implying.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they waited that long.
that's that delicate balance they have to have, right? They want to make sure studios are creative and don't feel stifled. At the same time, though, they have to be profitable. And all Herman Holtz is saying, listen, we've learned our lesson with Concord. We're going to play test a shit ton before we release these games. We're going to make sure that these resonate with focus groups and play testers. And we're going to make sure that this is a game that people want to play. Because I don't know, man. I thought Concord was actually a neat looking game, but man, nobody ordered that game. Nobody ordered it. So, yeah. Necromancer, did you guys already discuss the player survey? I received one, but maybe everyone. I've not gotten a player survey. Have you guys gotten a player survey?
Oh no, those are always just select groups. It's never everyone.
Oh, Bungie sends those. I've gotten them in the past. I fill them out.
Yeah.
I fill them out. Absolutely. So, but
I've got them on my alt accounts before. So
yeah.
One last thing I want to say about the topic is two things can be true at the same time. Like when you're talking about the technology stuff about it being a good thing for Sony, that can be true. And it can also be true that it's not going to, Bungie won't do good with live service going forward. You know, some companies, big companies, buy another company, they call it an acqui-hire. They just want the talent, they want the technology, they want the resources. And it doesn't mean that the company they bought continues to keep doing something. It means they just take they pick and choose certain things from it. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but like it could in theory be a thing where like, sure, they like some of Bungie's technology, but then we're still going to have issues with the live service going forward. I'm not saying that for sure, but that could be a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And the doctor,
that makes sense.
The doctor in the Discord chat said, here's hoping Pete Parsons leaving is a net positive for Destiny. To be fair, Marathon is under a tremendous amount of scrutiny with all the controversy around it. That $500 sounds like just a ploy to get more players. Well, speaking of that, here is the playtest dates, times, and rewards. Yesterday, select players received a new email from Bungie titled Marathon 30-Day User Research Study. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Necromancer. You're invited. The invite outlines a fully remote playtest that runs for 30 consecutive days from Monday, September 8th through Tuesday, October 7th, weekends included. Participants are, quote, required to play for at least 1 hour per day during the scheduled windows, 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific on weekdays and 2 to 8 p.m. Pacific on weekends. The message also notes that the recipients were contacted because they'd previously expressed interest in future research opportunities. In addition to gameplay, Bungie will also be collecting feedback through a short daily survey and a weekly survey. As a thank you, players who complete the entire 30-day study will receive a $500 gift card of their choice. If you only, there's a PS5 right there. Well, almost one, since they've raised prices now. Almost one. But if you finish part of the study, you will only receive a portion of the reward based on the number of days that you've completed. So if they contacted me about this, I would do it. 1 hour a day. I mean, come on, man. I put about 4 hours a day in Destiny already. If you include the hour in the morning and 3 hours at night, not including tonight, but I don't know. I don't know if maybe they are trying to get more players, Doctor. I don't know. But, I mean, that goes right in line with our topic tonight, that they are going to play test the crap out of these games before they release them. And yes, with the art scandal and stuff with Marathon, it's not a good look. I think it was very smart for Sony to, push it off and get it out of the out of the topic of conversation for now and come back and try again at another time. Okay. The one that Necromancer said, it says, your feedback is important to us. We have some very quick questions for you regarding your recent experience with Destiny 2, and the survey would take 5 minutes. So this is not that survey, Necromancer. Okay. I don't know. I hope I get one. I'd love to try. It's not even about the money, really. I mean, a $500 gift card's sweet. I guess I can buy some games on Steam with it. I'd probably ask for a Steam gift card. I don't know about you guys, but anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Having to log in every day for an hour.
I really want to try to play. I wasn't invited in the closed beta or alpha, excuse me, the closed alpha. I'd never got a code to play, but I don't know. I'd be interested in it. I mean, it is a shooter. It's a multiplayer game. I'm just not super familiar with extraction shooters. So I don't know what to see.
What's interesting though is that's nice. They're doing a big play test,
Mm-hmm.
but with the new deadline being March,
Yep.
there's still only so much they can change.
Yep.
So, what if people hate a bunch of things? Will it be great by March still? You know what I mean? But
4 hours a day, JD can't. That's grinding power, buddy. That's solo ops. And yes, okay, for the record, I'm working on the side missions now on Kepler, on Fabled. And I just finished the what's the guy in the glasses? What's his name again? I never can remember his name.
that's the easiest stuff.
Well, yeah,
Wait till you get to
I
the
know,
hard
but I still have to get it done. It's part of the triumph.
Yeah.
I played all the stories on Kepler on Fabled, but there's a final story that I have to have teammates to play it with. I tried to do it solo, but those fucking timers, man, they put the stupid ass timers in there.
So you don't have to. You just can't do it.
I have to have people help me do it because I have to find these secret Lodi. Thank you, Necromancer. I have to find these secret spindles. There's 2 of them I have to find.
I thought you meant the campaign.
And
mission.
you get a massive amount of bosses that come and everything just shits on you on this last area that you have to go to. And just staying alive versus even taking down you have to take down all the yellow bar bosses in these areas. And there's no way within the time limit you can do it solo unless you're God tier, like, some esoteric maybe.
Plus, you're going to have to do master stuff later.
I know.
Of course, you got to have a team to do all this stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to.
I've heard that they have communities to find other players. I don't know. You might be able to find one of those.
How do I turn camera?
Yeah.
How do I turn cameras off? I can't remember where it's at.
Only if there was a community that you knew about, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
You almost make it sound like you don't want to play with anyone.
For the record, I did go to our Owl Sector bot and I said, I need someone to play the Grandmasters. And I got one person who wasn't even in our community join. I must have had it on open with Sesh. And I was like, fine, I just canceled it because I didn't have anybody. And maybe it's a power thing because they had to be 330 minimum power.
Yeah, that stuff's
and man, it gives tons of good rewards though. I heard tier 4s and tier 5s, but the problem is they're not repeatable right now. So I have a feeling a lot of people have already run them that are higher power and can't replay them. And I don't know if you can join me to play them. It might not let you in. You know what I'm saying?
You can.
It just won't give you rewards maybe or something. I don't know. Anyway.
So it won't give rewards, but
that sucks.
I would have offered, but I'm not 330. I don't really care to get there. Maybe I will one day.
Yeah. It's the last 2 things I need to do to get to my Guardian rank 8. It's the only 2 things in my way right now. I got everything else done. So once I get those two master, Grandmaster, whatever things on the playlist done, I'll be not elite. I'm elite right now. And whatever the next one is for Guardian rank 8. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll have some people jump in and help me out with it. But, it has to be on schedules. I can usually do it at 10, usually after 10 p.m. on the weekdays. Because as some of you listen to my other podcast, after school to up to 10 p.m. is sacred time for Mrs. Gator and I. So it's when we do stuff together. So 10 o'clock it has to be, 10 p.m. Eastern. So, which on the West Coast is probably not bad for you guys. It'd be like 7 o'clock. But anyway. Hey, thanks, guys.
I'm always gaming around that time.
You are? Okay.
I'm always gaming around it. I'm as we've been doing this, I've been playing.
And you're what's your power level? You're above 330, right? You're close to it?
I'm 368.
Yeah, you'd be able to play it. And you get a ton of good weapons and gear, so I know it's not repeatable for some of the guys out there, and they've probably already run it, so that's probably why a lot of people didn't join. But I did throw it out there. I put it out for a couple days, and I only got one person joined of 2 other people that I needed, and he wasn't even in our community. It was just a bunch of digits. So anyway,
he has to be in the community to join. That's the way the bot works.
Yeah, I had to go to the site.
I
had to go to the site, and I think I might have clicked something I wasn't supposed to. Or I don't know. I got to still get that.
No, they can only join in GDC, so he had to have been in GDC.
Okay, but he didn't have a name. It was just a number.
They probably didn't finish setting up their thing.
They didn't register with, so I didn't know who it was. There was just a number, so I couldn't tell who it was.
The number means you were looking on your phone or computer and it wasn't showing it right. And if you go to the other one, you'll see you'll see who it is.
Yep.
I got you. Okay. Well, maybe next time.
I have McMaximo He signed up for the
Here,
raid
Todd, we'll
Wednesday,
teach you how to use
and
the
he was
bot.
just showing.
I need help with
Showing
it.
numbers.
Kingsley does a lot of the tech support in our Discord because we have so many
So
bots.
here's
and
what
stuff
you
we've
do.
added.
What should we tell other people in the Discord when they say the same thing that you did? Try again. Try at least a few times.
Yeah, I know. I was just,
And
I
then
had the
also-
time. I had the time. Actually, I didn't have the time. I actually had the time last night. I was going to run it and try to run those two and get it done. I figured it probably would have taken an hour, probably between three people that knew what they were doing. So,
And
but
you know what can also work better sometimes? Not even worry about the community here. The Fireteam Finder actually works pretty good sometimes.
Not had good in times with that. Yeah,
When's the last time you've tried it?
I
3
have
years
not
ago?
had the
4
best.
years ago?
I've not had the best
It
luck.
has changed.
I've not
it
had
has
the best
changed.
luck with
You
Fireteam
keep
Finder.
talking about things that are like 10 years ago, but like, when's the last time you've tried?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure some
Right,
people
you
will
might
help.
like it.
Yeah.
Tell the kid.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for indulging me with that topic. I know it was kind of all over the place, but the main thing I got out of that article was we're uncertain about where Bungie's going to be. And that article kind of danced around that topic a little bit, at least shed some light on at least what Sony and Herman Hulse is thinking. So anyway, yeah, that's the reason I brought it to the table tonight. Hey, that's it, guys. That is our show. I thank everyone for coming out tonight. The Roundtable is a very stripped down version of Guardian Downcast. It is basically our topics. We go over the TWAB if it's something important, and there was some important information there tonight. But we typically we don't answer questions from our community or any of that normal stuff that we do. We will do that next week, by the way. But if you put a question in the Destiny or non-Destiny questions in our Discord, we'll get to it next week. So don't worry, we'll be around to answer those questions. So I thank everybody on Twitch, on YouTube, in our Discord tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's always a good hang. I was just playing cards with some buddies that one of them I hadn't seen in like 3 years, and he was in town, and I went and actually played some cards, and I was winning big too. I was doing really good, and before I left, I just pushed all my money into the pot and said, "Good luck, guys. I'm out." So I appreciate you guys checking in every week with us here on Guardian Downcast. Next week, I believe it's just me and you, Kingsley. Next week, it'll be a regular co-hosted show, and we'll be talking about whatever's going on in Destiny. And I'm sure we'll be that much closer to Ash and Iron 2. We'll probably have some more information from Bungie about that as well. So that's what we'll be getting into next week. If you haven't already, hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. If you're in the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. That'll show you more videos and podcasts like mine to you, and also tells YouTube that you liked our content tonight, and helps us out, helps us get discovered a little bit better. So thank you for that if you haven't already. And that's a wrap. Zombie Pops, Deadpool 1 Merc, thanks, man. Thanks guys for hanging on tonight and talking with us. Do you guys want to give a shout out to anybody in the community, or tell people where they can reach you in the Discord or out and about? Whoever wants to talk.
I'll let you go, Zombie.
You can always find me in the Discord. Just at me, because most of my channels are muted. So,
Deadpool.
I'm in the Discord. You can always reach out to me at any time if you need help with anything. Most of the time I'm on the game. Also, I have started playing around with my Twitch. Once I get comfortable with it, I'll let everybody know what
Nice.
it is. And then I appreciate my clan members for coming in and watching the live. Appreciate you guys. Look forward to playing with you guys later on. And yeah.
Hey, do you guys mind doing a soundbite for me real quick for a transition I can do later on? It'll be real simple. Hold on. Let me reset my recording here.
Yeah, I feel like you two are like honorary guests now.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been on our show so many times that I feel, you guys need to be in a transition, right? All you need to say is, hey, this is Zombie Pops. You're listening to Guardian Downcast. And I'll give you a second run if you want to say something else. It's up to you guys. You can improv and do whatever you want, and I'll pick the best of the two, or even use both of them sometimes. And I put it to music and stuff, and it's high production. So do you guys mind doing that?
no, it's cool.
Make sure you get nice and close to the mic when you do it. Okay. We'll start with you, Zombie. We'll start with you, man. I'll count you down, and then just take one take straight up, And then the second take, you can say whatever you want, man. Ready? All right. 3,
All right.
2.
This is Zombie Pops, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
Okay, go ahead and take a second take at something. You can say anything you want, or the same
I
thing.
have no idea.
All right.
All right.
Just say it again, and say it this time a little more formally. Let's try a different take at it. Like, I don't know. Just do another take at it, just in case the first one didn't record well.
All right, gotcha. This is Zombie Pops, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, man. All right, Deadpool, you're up. I'll count you down. 3, 2.
Deadpool 1 Mark here, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
That was good. I like that. One more time, and you can change it up however way you want, or just say it again. It's up to you, man. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, look, it's Deadpool 1 Mark here, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
I like it. I did some with Kingsley about a month ago, and I still got those Kingsley. I'm working on putting those together. So I know it's kind of uncomfortable recording stuff live, but I don't know. I like making new transitions, and mainly the reason I do the transitions in the audio podcast is because I want everyone to know our community. It's all about community, right? So and when we do a transition, I know sometimes we'll talk about, hey, you need to join a clan or whatever, join us, or you can contact us these ways, fine. But during some of the transitions, I like to feature our community. That kind of goes with the theme of the podcast, right? So.
Hell yeah, I'd rather hear Zombie's voice any day than about the clan again.
You don't like that ad? What's wrong with that ad? I thought it was all right. All right. Well, thanks, guys. That is the end of the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks, chat. Thanks, everybody out there. And we'll see you guys in the Discord. Later, Guardians.
Have a good one.